RIP Twitter.
RIP Twitter, you said?
Yeah, you guys don't have the X app? Like, my shit doesn't even say Twitter no
Look,
more. It
X
says
gonna give
X.
it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. X gonna give it to you.
Yeah, I got.
So do we even call them tweets anymore, or just I posted X?
I posted an X or something. Yeah, it's X.
Yeah.
My app is still the Twitter bird though on the screen.
Oh, mine's not. Even the app shows a whole just the X
Oh
logo.
no, mine shows the Twitter bird with the X name, and when you swipe it closed, it shows the X app, but it shows the Twitter logo still.
Man, my shit auto updated, so I have that stupid X too.
Looks like a porn app.
I don't even get it.
Looks like a.
Yo,
I don't
Dad,
even
I
get
just
it.
saw
What's
your
the whole
message about
idea?
that 3-teamer. Good shit, bro.
Bro, I've been like just trying to learn it. Like a little bit on the side, so a little piece by piece.
Fucking All right, I know it's just a few of us in here. I didn't expect too much, but for the sake of anybody that tunes in later.
Looks like there was another one too that just started when I hopped on. There's like another. I don't know who the hell's running it, but there's another space about UFC
Yeah,
Nationals.
it's weird too because he was showing our page love earlier today. I don't know. Weird thing.
And it started at the same
Yeah.
time. Mhm.
Anybody who is tuning in later, though, we do another space on Friday nights at 9, and some Saturday morning so far. Make sure you
Depends on how drunk Rhino gets.
Make sure you check those out. CapMMA.com is a good site. We've got the only side by side odds parlay, or we've got the only side by side parlay calculator to see where you can get the best odds. It's a little glitchy, but you can track opening and closing lines on there now. I'm working on ironing that out.
And for mobile users, if you're using the Cap MMA website, make sure you request the desktop version on your iPhones because if not, it's gonna come out looking glitchy. Don't let that deter you away from using the site. Just request the desktop version, and it will give you the proper version still on your phone.
Yeah, I'm also working on getting the mobile version updated too, but it's like, it's a lot to manage getting both versions going at once. I know Marin's coming shortly, but I still like to run through the card a little bit. So Miranda Maverick, friend of the space, fucking looked great. Did anybody in the space get that wrong last week? Was anybody not on Miranda? I think we were all legitimately on Miranda, right?
Nah, but Za threw a little shade.
Who did?
Za.
Oh, that's all right.
Hell yeah.
That's all right.
Hey, she proved
I
me
was about to say
wrong.
she cost you
I,
your
I
money
had
anyway.
Miranda in the 4-teamer.
Medic, easiest underdog on the card, and bro, I don't know. Samuelsberger looked a little better than I thought he would, to be honest. I thought Medic.
Hell yeah.
I thought Medic would get it done early. I really was. I was pretty high on Medic, so I'm not mad.
Bro, I
Same here.
legitimately think that Semmelsberger was winning that fight until that happened.
Do you?
It
I
was
think he had the
even.
first 2 rounds in his
So I
bag.
don't disagree with that. I think it was the second that I thought could have went either way. I think it was the second. I know one of the 2 rounds I'm like, that could go either way, and the other one I definitely gave to fucking Samuelsberger, to be fair. I don't remember which of the two that I was like, yeah. I think the first round I was definitely like, fuck, Medic lost that round. But I was happy to see the third, and I was happy to see he came out urgent as shit. Like his corner told him, bro, you're about to lose this fight if you don't do something. That was nice to see. Jake Matthews, submission. I feel like that was so Will was on Darius Flowers, right? But everybody else was on Matthews. I'm not calling Will out. I'm just saying, like, I didn't feel like that was a big surprise either. uh,
Wait, but that
Last
dude.
minute fill in.
Yeah, that dude did a good job though. He did that drunken
Yeah.
monkey middle fight, and that was decent. But he ended up just fucking up.
Well, that's what you look for with those last minute fill-ins. You want some guys in there just got all heart and just want a shot because they put on entertaining fights.
Oh yeah, he was willing to go out on his shield. Kapilov, fucking Claudio Ribeiro. So I was on Kapilov. I was on Kapilov to get the finish, but I also had the over 1.5 on that fight. I know that's a weird thing to say, but when you think that it's a late finish, man, over 1.5 and fight to go the distance, no are nice. Yeah, cut off my nose to spite my face there. Most of you guys were on Ribeiro last week. Is that right? No?
I think we were on Kopylov.
Not
Good.
Yeah, Kopylov was kind of almost like one of the biggest locks on the card.
Bro,
I mean, when it came to picking.
I had such a fucked night. Like I had everything was so close to cashing, and I missed everything by like a fucking pick or a play, which is fine. That's what you get when you do parlays. But damn, CJ Vergara went to decision. He doesn't even get talked about this week. He cost me a good ass parlay, and 9 out of fucking 10 went to finish, or 9 out of 11 go to finish, and Vergara couldn't do it. He ain't getting no love this week. Gabriel Bonfin, though, did exactly what he was supposed to do. Absolutely no surprise there. I don't even know how fights like that go off. Like, do people really just take people like Trevin Giles because of the odds? Like, when I say I don't know how fights go off, I mean, I'm just saying, like, on bets. Like, who the fuck took Trevin Giles? Like, I'm not being mean. Who the fuck took him?
I mean, not a
They're
lot of
called
people.
casuals. They're called casuals.
I mean, the line was what? I think it closed at like 350, 360. I mean, yeah, most people were on Bonfim.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, how does that even balance? Is the bookie just paying us out of another fight or something? Because
No, I agree with you, actually. I think there are people out there who are like, oh, this guy's big plus money. Fuck it. Let's just throw something on him. Why not?
oh, I know there's people that bet that shit that just bet dogs because they're dogs. I know there are.
But yo, Bonfim, brother, yo, he's nice, man. What a performance.
It's the better bomb thing, bro.
I think that's
Yo, the
so
other one
shitty
faced.
too, bro, because they're both really fucking good. So I think it's so
Yeah, thank
shitty
you.
that people are like, it's the better Bonfim. Like,
The other one faced like someone tough. This one, it was kind of a layup for him, I would
his
say.
brother's Eli Manning. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's Eli Manning. Peyton Manning's the fucking superstar. You guys over here grinding away. Everybody's like Peyton Manning.
Hey, Eli got two Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, that's my point. Like he'll do just as well as his brother. Man, so that's what I get for betting on Michael Chiesa.
Payton's got two.
That's what I get for betting on Michael Chiesa. Yep. Yep, that's what I get. Fuck it. I don't know what happened. Did he quit? Like, did he just decide I'm
I
in
He's
over
the
my head?
old guy that was behind a
Yeah.
desk. You expected him to come out here and like just go fucking full on. What was his name? Fuck. Whatever. But yeah, you expect him to go fucking full on grapple mode on this guy? Come on, bro. The writing was on the wall. His time's passed.
I mean, I hear that, but what I'm saying is like when Kevin Holland in the post-fight press conference said that you know how it is. Once you crack him, he just gives the neck, so we don't have to fight no more. I really felt that. I was like, yeah, that seems accurate as fuck, Kev. You ain't lying, bro. He got cracked with two and
Yeah,
was
he didn't
like,
really.
nah, go ahead. Take that choke.
He didn't attempt to move at all. I mean, he didn't try to get out of
Yeah, he was
nothing.
like,
He gave up pretty quick. I mean, as soon as it even came close, it was like, yeah, I give up.
yeah.
What was really cool about that fight was he had a game plan. Like you could tell he was watching tape, like those uppercuts that he was landing because he knew he was going to duck his head like that. Then he would time those knees perfectly, and then he knew he wanted out. Like you could tell he was watching tape. I'm sitting there going, "Oh man, Kevin's been watching tape. I love this." And then in his post conference interview, he's like, "Yeah, I've been watching some tape,"
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, "Yeah, it shows, man. Like he came out prepared, bro."
Yeah, I'm not mad at myself for betting Chiesa. I just feel like I should have knew better than to bet a guy off the desk.
So,
Nah, you
but
probably
here's
just
my
because he's a
thing,
nice guy.
and I'm glad you just mentioned that because this is one of my favorite things about these spaces is that when some of us disagree with one another, because then I'm like, okay, it gives us something to look forward to, right? And it's, obviously, I don't like being wrong. Nobody likes being wrong, but if I do end up being wrong, I'm going, okay, well now I get the opportunity to grow because this guy said this would happen, and I said no, it wouldn't, and it did happen. So now I got to go back and I got to hit the books and learn again. I think it's a great opportunity, man. Those are my favorite moments.
Yeah, for me, it's like I knew Dominic Cruz couldn't come on. Yeah, I don't really think people can come off the desk. I've actually got, uh, yeah, Dan Hardy wants to come off the desk, and I think it's a horrible idea, bro. He's gonna get beat up. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Fucking
Cocaine ain't cheap.
Bobby Green beat Tony Ferguson up.
Fuck him.
What do you mean, bro?
With an eye poke. With an eye poke. He's a
Yeah,
dirty
dude,
fighter.
that was my only loss of the night.
Bro, Tony
Really?
grabbed his gloves like 3 times. Grabbed his gloves
Hey
like three
Zod,
times. Headbutted him twice.
Andrew, I know you told me, bro. You
no,
told
no,
me.
I'm not even going with that. It's
Fuck.
so this is what I just said, right? Like these learning moments, these opportunities, man. This is exactly what
Oh,
I'm
I know what
talking
was gonna
about.
happen, bro. This was a personal one for me though. I had to back my boy here, but god damn, that was heartbreaking. Fucking got tapped out
Dude,
by a fucking Bobby. When the fuck did fucking Bobby Green ever do fucking any jujitsu? When the fuck was he tapped anyone out? Fucking got he's a black belt, got getting fucking arm triangles or whatever. Fuck out of here, bro.
and yeah, and that's the thing that shocked me. Like, I mean, we all said it, or most of us said it last week that there was no way Tony wins. But I would, if you told me that Bobby Green was going to put Tony Ferguson to sleep via submission, like I would have been like, yeah, no way, get the fuck out of here. Like that was, if he's losing the grappling game against guys like Bobby Green, like where does he have an advantage? You know what
He
I
can't
mean?
even take Clay Guida. Like, imagine that. Like, fucking Clay will probably knock him out or probably like fucking tee off on him and then fucking probably choke him. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, Tony's
I
got to
mean,
retire, bro.
in 30 wins, you guys know Bobby's got like 10 knockouts, 10 submissions, 10 decisions, or something real close to that, right?
Something like that.
But in the UFC,
Yeah, but his subs aren't
No.
in the UFC though. That's the thing.
What?
That's why it was shocking.
Well, I think the main reason he got that sub is because Tony was just dry. I mean, he was just falling out of gas. I mean, he was quitting basically. I mean, he ain't a guy that comes out there and fights all 3 rounds with a just going forward, no matter how many times he'd been punched in the face, bloody as hell, and coming back and finishing guys in late rounds. He's not that guy anymore.
So I've been preaching how he should stop fighting. I've been saying this for his last like I don't know 3 fights, 4 fights. But here's my thing. I'll be fair. If he wants to continue fighting and making money, like cool, that's fine. But he's not UFC caliber anymore. Like he's
Yeah.
getting hurt. He needs to go to a lower promotion and make money and fight guys who aren't just gonna fucking kill him. You know what I mean?
BKFC, BKFC.
No.
Hey, hey, to be
That's the
real
exact
though,
opposite, man.
I don't
yo, he'll
care.
die over
I
there
want
at
to
the
see
beer dog.
blood. I want to see blood.
Yo, but he dropped Bobby though. Let's be real, he dropped him a little bit, and then the eye poke was.
Ah, Bobby tripped, bro.
He tripped. Come
He
on.
tripped, bro. What you talking
What?
about? He,
How about the eye poke then?
I'm glad he poked him in the eye. I posted it in the group. I
What?
don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm glad. Bobby Green, homie. Hey, listen,
Fuck him.
listen,
He made
listen.
me geek though when he wore the ski mask.
I'm about to make a meme and post it because Anderson Silva's inner spirit animal is a spider, right? Khabib's inner spirit animal is a bear, right? GSP's inner spirit animal is an alien, right? Bobby Green's inner spirit animal is DMX. I don't give a fuck that he poked that man in the eye. I don't give a shit. I don't care at all. I'm glad he did. Get the W. I'm Bobby Green all day, bro. I don't care.
Fuck
Wait, I need
Bobby
to
Green.
find a soundboard real quick.
Fight of the night went to, so no fight of the night bonus. Performance of the night bonuses went to Gaethje Lewis, Bobby Green, and Kevin Holland. I didn't see if Dana White did a post-fight interview or whatever, or post-fight press conference or whatever, but I would imagine this is a card where Dana gives everybody a little bag, goes to the hotel and drops off a little bit of bag for everybody. Like, he's pretty well known to do that. And when you got a card that drops down to 11 fights, that's a pay-per-view, and 9 out of 10 of them get you finish, or 9 out of 11 get you finishes, bro. I just feel like he probably pushed the bag. Derek Lewis looked fucking great for 33 seconds. I hope it transfers over to another fight. Like, I'm not talking shit. He looked great for 33 seconds. So I hope Derek Lewis gets the second win to his career here, bro. Like, I really sincerely do. Like, yeah, he looked great. 6-pack at the fucking weigh-ins. Like, I'm not
Hell
smart
yeah!
Well,
ass or
I got a
nothing,
question
bro. He
for you.
looked fucking great.
I got a question
What
for
you
you.
got?
So I saw that that was his last fight on his contract, and that he go into free agency. So if he can get that fight with Francis Ngannou, he can get that big paycheck in PFL.
He wants to be in the UFC.
Yeah, keep him in the UFC.
Yeah,
Dude.
But if
don't
you're
take him
him,
to PFL.
like
I'm
Derek Lewis
No,
ain't gonna
basing
go
that
listen.
win no
on.
If
belt.
you're Dana
I
White,
understand.
you protect this man at all costs. This guy is a fucking character. Like he is the epitome of entertainment. This guy is phenomenal. Like that's the thing about Derek Lewis. Nobody even cares if he loses. He's just that fucking funny of a guy. People want him to be around. You know what I mean? And then when he is winning fights and he's doing shit like what he just did on Saturday, it gives us something to reminisce about. You know what I mean? You have to keep this guy. You have to.
I
I
agree.
don't know. I don't know. He's got to have a certain ceiling of money before I'd just throw everything at Derek Lewis. I don't think he's as valuable as you
So
think.
so let's be fair. He's worth at least 700 grand a fight.
Oh, at
Okay,
least.
so if Dana
And how
offers
much did
him,
they say they were going to pay? They were going to pay a
but
million
listen, all
or
Dana can offer,
better
so
for a
like the
PFL spot.
PFL can offer him 2 million to fight Francis, right? We know that. But
Yeah.
after that, I don't know how much they can offer Derek Lewis in terms of, even if they offer him $1 million, like, he's got to wait for another super card. But the UFC could offer him 750 to show, 750 to win on a 4-fight deal. Give us your last 4 fights. It's $3 to $6 million. The way they're paying fighters on these new contracts, I wouldn't be surprised if Derek can get 750, even more than that. To be honest with you, I think Derek could get a million to show, or damn close to it. I really do. I do. I don't think they'll have a
Hell
But
problem.
at
yeah!
the age of 38, how many more fights is Derek Lewis really even want to
They just
do?
gave Tony Ferguson 6 fights, bro. These are what you call
Well,
retirement
this is
contracts.
What?
heavyweight. This is
Yeah,
heavyweight.
but I mean,
Heavyweight is like
But
they're
bro,
not
what
even
I'm
giving.
saying is like, that's Tony Ferguson's retirement contract. He's not fighting no fucking 6 fights. The UFC knew that shit when they gave it to him. He is not fighting no 6 fights. So
But bro, they're not even giving guys like Dustin Poirier or Gaethje $1 million to show, are they?
Yeah, I think
yeah,
this
they
weekend
both
did.
got made. They made like 1.2 and 1 point
Yeah,
like
but
4
that's
yeah,
or
that's
including
something.
pay
before
per
win
views.
bonuses and before pay-per-view points. They both cleared over
Yeah,
$1 million, bro. Both of them. So like,
they got paid.
and I like it. I think fighters should get paid.
Of
I
course.
just, what I'm saying is, I don't think $2 million guaranteed to fight Francis Ngannou will lure Derek Lewis away from the UFC. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think
I
so.
know. I think about it. I'm
Dude,
not saying 100% either, but I think about it. Ain't just a throw it in the trash because it's junk mail.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I mean, yeah, I don't. Yeah, whatever. Jan Blachowicz got fucked. He won that fight, bro. Like, he won the fight.
I mean, what do
He
you
got
think? But
fucked. You
what
guys
do
can
you?
say whatever you want and give
I
me
mean, yeah,
grief.
but it depends.
I know I
It
was
depends.
on him, but
It,
bro,
it
he
depends how
won
you
that
score the
fight.
fight,
He
though.
didn't even need the third.
How do you score that fight though?
Yeah, but it
1-1
depends.
Jan, 1-2 Jan all day. Who cares about the third? Because Jan won 1 and 2.
Joe,
I don't
can you
know.
hear Cade?
He didn't win number two.
No,
My
I'm
fault.
gonna remove from speaker. Will remain in the space, and then I'm going to invite to speak and see if that helps him out. Okay. Yeah, bro, he got fucked. Jan Blahovic got fucked. I don't care what you guys say.
Pereira definitely won the
Can
second
you
though.
guys hear me?
What?
He had him against the fence, and dude, he could have really done some Israel shit.
But he didn't.
Yeah, but he won the round though,
Hey, can you
right?
guys hear
Would
me?
you
No, I
agree?
thought I gave Jan 1 and
I
2.
can hear you. I can hear you, Ken.
Oh, I can't hear Kate. My fault.
Kate, are you there?
I'll be I'll be back.
Yeah, can you guys
No,
hear
it's
me?
not you, bro, because I can't hear Kate either.
I can hear Cade. I can
I
hear you.
think Kate should
You can
leave
hear
and
me,
come
right?
back.
I can hear Cade. Yeah, Cade's good.
Yeah, I think he should leave and come back. I'm having a problem with him. I don't want to boot him because then he'll be fucked. Let's see if that.
I can hear him the entire time. Can you hear
I
me,
can hear
Joe?
you fine. Kate, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. I hear him fine.
Nah, I think we figured out until he leaves the room. I don't
I think he's messing with something now. Now it just had him connecting again.
add a speaker for Za. Um.
Yep.
Anyways,
What
Dustin
about now?
Poirier. I'll be honest. This whole noise that,
Hold on.
yeah,
Joe. Okay, Cade's gonna speak right now and tell me if you hear him. Cade, speak.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I
Can you hear him,
I
Joe?
nothing at
can.
all, bro. He's gonna have to leave the room and come back. Not just leave the mic. He's gonna have to leave the space and come back in.
I've
Cade,
done it like
close the
Yep.
five
app.
times already.
Try closing the app, bro.
Yeah, close the app and reboot it or something. Joe didn't pay his phone bill this month.
No, Wi-Fi only, bro. I ain't got no money for cell phone bills. I've been paying for UFC pay-per-views. You know how it's, you gotta pick. You gotta pick nowadays. Uh,
An addiction's an addiction. You know what I'm saying?
fuck. Bro. So this whole noise that head kick was illegal is complete fucking nonsense, in my opinion. Hundreds of head kicks have landed the same way and been just fine. And the noise that Dustin was winning is just noise, bro. I mean, like, he could have won that first, but I didn't feel like, as a guy who was betting on Dustin when that round was over, I was like, oh shit, here we go. So I don't know how you guys seen it. Zah, what you got?
I honestly think like that fight was an anomaly. Like Gaethje got really lucky, and I still think Dustin's a better fighter.
I can't agree more. I mean, that's definitely a good breakdown. I felt the same way. I thought Dustin looked kind of the same way, taking his time, kind of doing the same stuff they did in the first fight. Uh, and then Justin just caught him with something on surprise, and it could have
Hey,
knocked
can
out
you guys hear
anybody.
me?
So, like, cheers to that.
I can
I
hear
can hear you,
Kate.
Okay.
kid.
I can hear you. I can hear you. So go ahead, Kate. Have your
No,
moment.
I mean, look, I just think that I don't know. People are going to disagree with me in my take. I just think Justin's better now. I just think he is. And I don't think it's because he's skillfully that much better. I think it's because Dustin's head is truly not where you guys think it is. And if it was, he wouldn't have gotten caught with that shot. And the reason I say that, too, is because in the first round, if you really watch the first round again, which I just watched it 10 minutes ago because I wanted to make sure before the space, I knew exactly what I was talking about because I was drunk on Saturday. But I look, Justin was cracking him with some hard shots in the first round. Dustin landed a good shot and it bugged Gaethje's eye. When Gaethje, like, I don't know what he was doing, he kept rubbing his eye, and then that's when Dustin caught him. But that was like Dustin's best punch of the round, and then I don't know why he didn't go after Justin, but he kind of played it safe. But I just felt like Justin was doing the same, landing the inside leg kicks. I noticed this fight he wasn't the aggressor. He was fighting on his back foot, kind of making Poirier chase him and kind of trying to use his footwork into baiting Poirier into some things. But I mean, if you really go back and watch the first round, man, I felt Justin just landed the harder, cleaner shots. I felt like he looked his head was in the game, man. And like I didn't expect him to put Poirier's lights out in the a minute in or however long it was into the second round. I mean, I don't think anybody did, but I mean, hey man, it went the way I would like it to as a fan from a fan perspective. But that's all I really got, man. I think Justin looked good.
So I wasn't surprised that Justin was able to knock him out in the second. I was surprised that he did it with a head kick. Like like I think Justin can put anybody out if he can get him. I'll say this. Um, I think Justin probably has a few more good fights in him, good competitive fights, maybe a little bit of a second wind. I think Dustin Poirier, even though he looked fine afterwards, not because of the knockout, I think we've seen the over the hill for him now. I feel like he looked nothing like he's looked in his past couple fights. I feel like he looked. I didn't feel like he looked as fast. I didn't feel like he looked as strong. He's got to make the weight healthy because his body can't do the big cut and rebound anymore. And I think Dustin should take a couple money fights at 170, even though he's being pissy about it, saying that he's not gonna. So, yeah, I don't know. I like Dustin a lot. I'm a huge fan. I agree with what Cade's saying about where his head's at. I also think his body has made the change. You hit an age, you hit a time. We see you peak. There's no question we have in recent years been watching Dustin Poirier absolutely peak at what he does. So I feel like we've seen him go past the peak. Cade, go
No,
ahead.
I was just gonna say last thing, like, I agree with you. Like, I think that I was telling my dad this even, and I don't know if you guys would agree with me or not, but let Leon and Colby play out. If Leon drops, or I'm sorry, if Colby doesn't beat Leon, you know, um, I know stylistically it's probably not the best matchup for Dustin, but there's some beef there. I mean, who knows? Maybe Dustin can take a whole entire year off, relax, get his body and his mind right, and take the appropriate amount of time off from this, this knockout and get back in there and run it with Colby. I mean, I like Dustin Poirier against anybody that he really does not like. I think Dustin's just got that dog in him. And, I said this coming into this week too, like through fight week, me and my dad were talking about it. I felt there was too much respect between both fighters. I like the respect, but it was like every time they saw each other, shaking hands, hugging, dapping each other up. Poirier even walked up to Gaethje at the press conference and gave him a fucking thing of chew. If you watch the embedded series, I mean, there's no hate there. Those guys were just in there for legacy, man. And like, I don't know, man. I feel like against a guy like Colby, man, he might perform. Who knows?
That's the fight I meant he was kind of being pissy about. He's not taking that Colby fight. He's made it pretty clear. He already said he's not doing that. So I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, anybody else got anything on this card? Andrew, I know Marin's coming, but we're probably gonna kick off without him. I'm on a little bit of a time limit. I can't go as late as normal tonight. So
Joe's got
Yeah,
a budget,
we can
ladies and
start it up.
gentlemen.
Let's do it.
all right.
You want me to start it
UFC.
off?
Yeah,
Oh
I
no, go
got it.
ahead.
I'm
Go
a
ahead.
UFC on ESPN, Sandhagen versus Font, also known as UFC on ESPN 50. Nashville, Tennessee, at the Bridgestone Arena this Saturday, August 5th. First fight of the night. We're going to use UFCstats.com. Let me do a refresh in case they've changed anything here since I opened it. First fight of the night is Ode Osborne versus Asu Alambedov. I can't say it. I watched the video. I tried to re-
Almabayev.
I tried to repeat it, and I'm like, I'm not going to remember this one right. O'Day is 5'7", 73 inches of reach. The other dude's making his debut. We don't have stats on him. I actually did tape him though. I actually did look him up, and he's making his debut. He's on a 13 fight win streak with 9 finishes. I watched some tape on him when he was in Brave. In a nutshell, I expect him to look a lot like O'Day with more spinning attacks. He's got a really powerful takedown, not not like skillful takedown. He's got a really strong takedown. Like he can pick a guy up well over his head and slam him down on his neck without it being a big problem for him. Like he's a strong guy. Um, but it was funny watching him strike. I felt like he looked a lot like O'Day. So I guess it'll just be a matter of I can't even say old versus young because O'Day isn't that old. I think he's 29 and this dude's 2 years younger than him, like 27. So I think it should be a good fight. I put no bets, no picks. Cap is not my cap for this fight. Is there are no safe bets. Yeah, I usually fade guys that are making their debut, but this debut will look very similar. I do find it peculiar that I've seen him as high as minus 189 over O'Day. I think that's a little crazy. But if he can establish any type of takedowns on O'Day, man, it could be a problem for O'Day. Andrew, you got anything on this fight? I know you love O'Day.
Man, of course I got it on this fight, man. Um, yeah, just like you, I was watching those Brave fights for Asu, and I feel like he's actually pretty predictable. He comes out and he does the same thing. He's going to throw like a couple calf kicks to get it started, and then at some point he's going to throw this like super telegraphed spinning back kick to the body. It's very unimpressive. It's very telegraphed, you know. And then he's going to go for the single leg because that's how he takes people down. That's how he starts it. When he starts to get his wrestling game going, as you mentioned, he picks him up and drops him. He got his hands in for the double leg and he was able to pick him up. But he likes going for the single leg. That's how he gets his guys down. His striking is very unimpressive to me. Uh, he likes to throw a lot of hooks, very sloppy hooks. He doesn't really throw a lot of straight punches. I actually don't think his striking is anything like O'Day's. Um, Asu when he faced better competition, so he fought Tagir Ulanbekov, and Ulanbekov smoked him. He beat. What did it for that fight was Asu was getting out grappled, and because he couldn't out grapple, he's not going to outstrike Tagir, so he was fucked. But I noticed in his losses, he's on his back foot and he likes to circle around a lot and he's not very high volume on the feet. So he's going to look to get Ode down. Given these odds, like you said, Ode today, or Asu was minus 193 as of this morning, and I think that's absolutely crazy. I think Ode is very game. I think his ground game is very underestimated. And they very favor the under. So the only thing I can think of is they're thinking he's going to get his back for the rear naked choke, which I don't think is going to happen. Ode's only lost that way to Brian Kelleher, which was in a UFC debut, 2 weight classes above his actual weight class. I just think he's going to be game. I'm not betting Ode because, like I said, I do have some bias, so I don't know if I can throw the hammer on it. But I do like the over 2.5. If there is going to be a finish, it's going to be on Ode, and he's going to knock him out. But I don't really see that just because I anticipate a lot of grappling. But I do like the over 2.5 at -127. That would be my bet for this fight.
Very nice. Anybody else on this fight? Man, I didn't expect a lot. Andrew, what you got next, bro?
Bro, that's the fight of the week. I don't know what people are talking about. You guys are nuts. We are going to go to the featherweight division. After about 20 different fight switches, Sean Woodson has a fight this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to take on the newcomer, who is actually somewhat of a familiar face, coming off the Contender Series a couple different times. Dennis Bazooka. I think the J is silent. It's going to be a fun fight. Woodson is 9-1-1. Bazooka is 8-2. Sean's going to be a lot taller. He's always the tallest guy in this division. He's 6'2" to Dennis's 5'9". Much longer reach, 78 inches to 70. They both like to fight switch a lot. On the feet, they both have a lot of output. However, Sean doesn't take as much as Dennis takes. For Dennis, these stats are only based off of 2 fights in the Contender Series, so take it with a grain of salt. Because the fight just got announced today, I honestly didn't have enough time to tape Dennis. Sean worries me, especially after his last fight. He pretty much got knocked out by Saldana and then got saved. And Saldana is pretty low level. So Sean is very chinny to me. He doesn't check those calf kicks, and he's got the thinnest legs in the UFC, which scares me. So, yeah, I am definitely staying away. The same way Joe was on nothing for the last fight, that's how I am on this fight. I have nothing on it on 4 days' notice. That's a no-go for me. Joe, what do you have on this fight, man?
It hasn't even been today. He got a different opponent this morning. Like it's not even it's been all day. It's been a few hours. I will say that Bujak or however it says, Dennis, his level of competition since he first appeared on Dana White's Contender Series is not the most impressive level of competition that you could face. I had enough time to click some shit and check some guys out and look at their records and try to figure out who was able to go the distance a bunch of times and guys that were getting finishes and guys that records were non-existent. And those are the guys that his resume is full of. Yeah, I have zero interest or zero bets in this fight at this point. I guess that could change through the week because I'll probably get to look the guy up and probably have some more time. But as of right now, I don't have enough time. Dude just got announced.
Yeah, off of memory, I do think Dennis will be the better grappler if he can get Sean down. Sean has pretty good takedown defense, so I think if he can get him down, that's his pathway to victory. But I would need to watch tape because I want to see what his striking looks like. I don't really remember. Cade, what you got, bro?
Um, I don't I don't know how he'll match up with Sean Woodson per se because I need to watch some more stuff, but I do know Dennis is pretty good up and comer, and I know he's got a great team behind him. He trains with Ray Longo and Aljamain Sterling and all those guys.
Really? That's Dennis trains alongside them guys?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he trains with all of them because I remember Ray back when I talked to him every once in a while, but I remember a specific time. He had asked me if I had interest in interviewing him, and I said yeah, and we just never did it. I think I did for Vola before I did him, and then I never got to him, um, but I'm pretty sure that was his name. And Frivola posts about him all the time if you go on like his on his social media.
I see it on Tapology. You can go to his gym, and it's Ray Longo.
Yeah,
his
so I
coach and
guess I'm
everything
gonna
like
have
that.
to leave that one at more research needed. I don't want to stuff a bunch of time on it right now. I'm gonna roll on to the next one. But man, that does make a difference in how I feel. But his level of competition still hasn't been impressive. I'm not trying to be, find a way to dog the dude out or nothing. It's just, yeah, it just hasn't been that impressive. I'm sorry. Next fight on the card, flyweight fight between Cody Durden and Jake Hadley. Cody Durden is 5'7", 67 inches of reach, fights southpaw. Hadley, also a southpaw, also 5'7", but 70 inches of reach. A little bit of an advantage of their 3 inches. Striking, striking numbers: 4.2 landed, 3.5 absorbed per minute for Hadley. 3.2 landed, 3.2 absorbed for Durden. Takedowns per 15 minutes: Durden 5.7, Hadley less than a half. Hadley's takedown accuracy is 100%. I've ran the numbers. He doesn't shoot them. Takedown accuracy for Cody is 48%. And he's got a takedown defense of 71%. So I did look at this fight today. I spent I'll say I spent a decent amount of time on it. Hadley could KO Cody, but I think Hadley is an easy takedown for Cody. I think Cody will be able to take him down. I actually think Hadley will get back up repeatedly, and Cody will repeatedly take his ass down. I'm on the over on this fight, and I'm also on Durden money line. His on the average odds. What are they right now? Cody is average plus 159. Hadley is average minus 196. Yeah, I disagree with the line there. I think that that's wrong. I think Cody should be a slight favorite in this fight. Yep, just my feelings. You can get Cody as high as plus 170 at Bet Online or low vig. I think it's lowvig.ag. Betfair's also got him at 170. The worst you can get him on is at the Tab Sportsbook for 145. The best odds you can find on Hadley, 182 at Betfair. I don't agree. I don't agree with any of them lines. I think Cody should be the favorite here. Andrew, you got anything on this fight?
Yeah, I definitely do. There's been a lot of line movement since yesterday on this fight. It's actually nuts. Um, Hadley in the mid afternoon was like minus 180, and then he dropped all the way down to minus 145, and then he went back up to like minus 190, and then when I woke up this morning he was minus 200. I'm like, holy shit. I have him locked in a money line at minus 160, and then I also took his sub prop at plus 225. um, while I do agree with you, Joe, I do think Cody is going to go for takedowns because that's what he does. And I agree that he's going to get takedowns because Jake Hadley gets taken down. But what Jake Hadley does when he gets taken down is win. He finds a way. He throws up a lot of subs. He's very crafty. And Cody, honestly, when it comes to BJJ guys like that, that's his weakness. He's been triangled, and he's been caught in that gilly, especially when he gets you on the cage. He's going to stuff that head down there, and he's going to keep his neck open. And I think Hadley's going to find it at some point. Eventually, he's going to find that neck, or he's going to get him into a sub on the ground. At some point, it's just going to come. I believe in the tape. So I have money line, and then I have the sub prop. Kate, what do you have, man?
I took sub plus 225 on DraftKings. I just think that Hadley will. I This is how I just see the fight. I don't know if I'll be right, but I just see Hadley hurting Cody. Cody will shoot one of those sloppy ass takedowns, and then Hadley will jump on his neck. That's just the way I see the fight. But I do think Durden will get his takedowns, and if Hadley doesn't find the sub, I ultimately actually do agree with Joe. I think Durden will win the fight, but it's a big if he doesn't find the sub.
Man, Vinny, what you got?
Hey Joe, what's going on, boys? Well, first of all, yeah, I'm with you on this, Joe. I totally agree that Cody's gonna take Headley down. He's gonna keep him down, and then he's gonna keep on getting up, and he's gonna keep on getting him down. And I just think that he's gonna get tired, and eventually Cody is gonna have the sub on that. Let me turn this down. Sorry about that. The sub on that. I'm just hoping maybe round two. And I also wanted to see who you guys. I joined you guys a little late. Who'd you guys pick on the Odie fight?
Everybody's kind of off the bat. That kid is promising.
The other one?
But yeah, he's promising, man. But I don't think minus 189 is fucking justified.
All right.
That shit.
So you got
That shit is crazy.
so you got two dogs to start the night. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Cody
I'm
ain't the
not.
favorite.
No. The kid is the favorite.
Yeah.
But
O'Day
Odie,
is the dog.
yeah, Odie is the dog, and isn't Cody a dog too?
Yeah, but there's the Woodson fight in between. Cody's a dog. I'm not on O'Day, bro. I think that kid is nice. I think he could beat
Yeah,
O'Day. Maybe.
Okay, I never seen that kid, so I'll take a look at him. All right.
Yeah, he. There's tape on him. You can find him. Um. Anyways, uh, Andrew, I can't. I like that we're on opposite sides, bro. At least we'll have something to talk about next week.
100%, man. 100%.
Fucking All right, I'm gonna shove on to the next one. Andrew, what you got next, bro?
Man, we're going back to the featherweight division. This is going to be a fun fight because it's a fun fighter. We've got Billy Quarantillo coming back off of a pretty bad knockout. He's going to take on Action Damon Jackson. Quarantillo is 17-5, 5-3 in the UFC. Jackson is 22-5-1 with a no contest, but in the UFC he's 5-3-1 and one no contest. So he's done it all. It's pretty interesting. Billy Quarantillo's average fight time is 11 minutes. Damon Jackson's is 9 minutes. Billy Quarantillo is 1 inch shorter at 5'10 and 1 inch deficit at reach with 70 inches to 71. Quarantillo is an orthodox fighter. Damon Jackson is a switch fighter. If we look at the stats, Billy Quarantillo, as we know, very high volume, 7.86 strikes landed per minute, which is insane. He does take back a lot, but not as much as he dishes out at 5.79. Damon Jackson is 2.78, and he absorbs 2.92, so not very good. Takedowns average 1.51 for Quarantillo, 2.35 for Damon Jackson. Neither one of them has good takedown defense. If we go to the odds, Quarantillo as of today is minus 175. Jackson is plus 150. Over 2.5 is plus 110. Under 2.5 is minus 140. And if you're looking at that split decision prop, yes is plus 350. No is minus 500. I don't really always like to favor guys coming off of knockouts. It's just, do they take enough time? Are they actually healed? You know what I mean? Especially when you get beat up pretty bad, it could potentially wear on you mentally. Um, I kind of do favor Damon Jackson in the beginning of the fight. I think he's going to get Billy Quarantillo down easily. But I think Quarantillo is good enough not to get subbed. And Damon Jackson does gas out as the fight goes on. So I think he can. I think he could potentially get him out of there, or if he can win the first 2 rounds, because Quarantillo likes to come back at the end of the fight. So I think I might take a stab on Damon Jackson money line, and then play a bet live on Quarantillo if I see that the fight is going the way I expect it to. So other than that, I don't really have too much on this one. I'm just going to kind of sit back and enjoy this fight because it's going to be a lot of action, man. Joe, do you have anything on this?
Yeah. So, I agree that Damon Jackson will be able to take him down. I understand Billy's volume. I don't need to recite the numbers. You've already said them. But Damon is tight, bro. He gives one to take one, but he only takes one to give one. I personally think that So they're the same age, but I think you will see a difference in the maturity of strength. I know that Billy is a great striker, great striking power. I'm not talking about like power. I'm talking about physical strength. When they clinch, when they're hand in hand, so to speak. I mean, I know it. I just so to speak. I think that Billy will be overpowered. I think he will be surprised at how strong Damon is. I'm on Damon Jackson money line. I'm on the under 2.5 on the fight. And I'm also very curious to see what the rounds 1, 2, and 3 props with no side look like. I see a lot of finishing upside for Billy. So that's why I like the under 2.5, and I'll be looking at the rounds with no side. But I will definitely play Damon Jackson money line somewhere in a parlay. And I probably will not play Billy Quarantillo in a parlay. But I will play, like I said, I will play both sides of this fight by playing the unders in the round props. I really think Billy is a great fighter. I think Damon will have some man strength on him, so to speak, at the same age. Anybody else on this fight?
I mean, I just want to say both guys are coming off of pretty bad knockouts. Damon Jackson got dropped really fast by Dan Ige his last fight.
I know. Yeah, I know. I know.
Well,
And
he talk about Billy getting knocked out bad. Well, Damon Jackson got knocked out in like 20 seconds.
yeah,
So
I
don't use
wasn't.
that part. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not using that as part of my decision at all. I think Damon will have physical man strength on him at the same age, whatever. I just think it. Vinny, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, Damon Jackson's calling my name. I think he's gonna definitely control the Billy and yeah, make him look like a kid, like his son. We'll see what happens, but I mean, I'm on Damon Jackson's side.
I'm looking to parlay Jackson and Durden, and I can get like over plus 500 for it. So I'm probably going to do that as a 2-piece dog parlay and see if that shit will walk for me.
Over 500, that's nice for just two.
Yeah, I think it was 546 when I looked earlier.
Yeah, for
I
just
actually,
two.
I think the line I'm quilling on Billy will move, and I think I'll get a better line on Damon in a couple days, to be honest. So I'm gonna wait hold strictly on that, but just for like 10 or 20 bucks, bro. But it turns it into a few $100. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it, I'll
Hey,
take it.
$10 made me $1,000 last week, or $15 made me $1,000 last week. I'm happy.
That's fucking phenomenal, bro.
I hit,
That's
I hit, I hit an A-legger. It was beautiful.
nice, very nice. Um, who called that one out? You or me, Andrew? I think that was
Yeah, you're up next.
I thought so. I thought so. It's all right, here we go. I gotta get back over. Yeah, Ignacio Bahamondes versus Ludwig Klein, a lightweight fight. 14-4 for Bahamondes. Klein is 19-4-1. Both guys have a 12-minute and something second average fight time in the UFC, and that spans well over 5 fights apiece. Bahamondes on UFC stats is reported at 6'3" with 75 inches of reach. Uh, Klein is reported at 5'7" with 72 inches of reach. Bahamondes fights orthodox. Klein fights southpaw. Bahamondes lands at 7.9 per minute while absorbing at 5.4. Those are crazy numbers. Those are top 10 numbers right there. Those are like Max Holloway in his peak numbers. 7.8, 7.9 per minute. Ludwig lands at 3.4 while absorbing at 3.6. Ludwig averages 1 takedown per 15 minutes. Both guys have really high takedown defense. Bahamondes at 95%, Billy at 81%. Bahamondes averages 0.00 takedowns per minute. Uh, Klein's coming off a draw with Ja Herbert after 2 wins, and Bahamondes is on a 3-fight winning streak. So when I was looking this fight up, you can find. So I think Bahamondes is the side. I think Klein is live for a submission. But the size gap is concerning and it's unclear. If you check all the major sites, you can find Bahamondes as big as 6'3", as small as like 6'1", and you can find Ludwig at 5'8", 5'7", and 5'6". So like the side, like that could be absolutely fucking ridiculous size difference if one side is right about one guy and one side is right about the other. And you just can't tell. You can feel like you can tell ish, but you can't. You can tell that Bahamondes is tall, and you can tell that Ludwig is not. Yeah, very concerning for me. Maybe after I see the weigh-ins and see him kind of nose to nose, I'll feel a little different about it. But I've got no bets on this fight. But I do think Bahamondes is the side, and I do think that Klein has a lot is live for a submission. But if the grappling can be neutralized by a big enough size disadvantage. I've always said that. I've always said if you're long enough or tall enough, it doesn't necessarily matter how good of a grappler they are. So I feel like that may be Ludwig's downfall here, is that he's just not big enough. Before I turn this one over, if anybody else is on it, the average global odds on Bahamondes is minus 222. I see him as nice as minus 196 on Betfair. Klein's average odds are plus 177, and you can get him as nice as plus 190 at DraftKings, Low Vig, Bet Online. And that's the only boys where you can get that. Andrew, you got anything on this fight?
Yeah, just a little something. Are you going off UFC stats? Because that was like way out of order.
What do you mean? That's not out
You
of order.
missed like 2 fights.
Yeah,
No, I did not.
Yeah,
yeah,
you
bro.
did. Jeremiah Wells and
Fuck.
Charleston
I
No,
Harrison
probably
I,
was
Lewis.
over on Sure Dog and clicked
yeah,
back.
no, it's all good, bro. We can still roll
We'll
with it.
backtrack.
Yeah. With this one, I like what you said. I think the size is going to be a difference maker. Ignacio puts out a lot of volume, man. He throws out a lot of volume, and he always goes forward. His takedown defense is super solid. So I'm going to have him in a parlay. As of today, he was minus 190. So I'll definitely use him as a parlay piece. Other than that, I don't really have anything else on this fight in terms of betting. There's really nothing else that I like, but I do like that money line. I think Klein's a fade. I don't think he's going to be able to deal with this guy. I think Bahamondes has too many tools to beat him. So we're going to roll with Bahamondes, but yeah, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Does anyone else have anything on this one?
Size advantage, size advantage, size advantage. When Joe brought that up, we couldn't even decide what was the legit size advantage. I mean, realistically, Ignacio has always had these size advantages over these guys, and I mean, as long as he can just stay away from the takedowns, I mean, even then, he has a decent choke, like a front choke, but if he could just stay away from takedowns from most of it, I think he'll be all right. His kickboxing is I wouldn't say it's fucking world class, but it's very well renowned. That's his main skill point. So I'm taking Ignacio as a parlay piece for sure. I want to back up the hometown kid, so I'll roll with Ignacio, and the bet's gonna be Ignacio money line. Parlayed. So don't do nothing cute unless you think he gets the knockout or decision.
You guys,
Wait,
you guys think is the over gonna hit on this, Joe, specifically?
Uh, on the Bahamondes fight,
Yeah.
I didn't cap it for an over, bro. And I did look at it, and I did not write it for an over. So there's 4 or 5 fights on this on this card that I've got no overs or unders on. I didn't have one on the opening fight or the second fight. Clearly, I didn't write one on here though. If I get it though, I will definitely send it over to you if I think I spot it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering because both of them like to pretty much wrestle. So
Yeah, but if Bahamundes is that much bigger, bro,
he
it could.
goes,
Nah, he's tall. He's for real tall.
yeah,
He's like,
he's a skinny little guy. I mean, not little, but it's a skinny tall guy.
and he has good striking though.
He's
Yeah,
from
I
Chile.
can't. I can see the early finish on his side, bro. That's the problem. And if it goes late, and Ludwig's got a little bit of a tank. He could climb his back late in the fight. But yeah, I've got no over under on them shits, bro. Uh, man,
I
I
just got
like.
a quick question.
Yeah, what you got, bro?
Who's the hometown kid that you guys? Well, I think that picks what you're saying.
Chicago. Ignacio trained out of Chicago.
Oh, then yeah, dude. I think that's a fight for him to win. I would say.
Yeah, but the
I mean,
fights are in Nashville.
no, but
Yeah,
the
but
UFC
for
likes him, bro.
and Dad picks us from Chicago. That's what he was saying.
Oh, never mind. I ain't picking him.
Oh shit.
What do you call it? What do you call it? Does he train in that with the Mexican BSP? I think it's called the one in Chicago, the famous one that everybody trains out of, even Bilal.
Yo, did you
No.
guys see what happened to Bilal? That guy that's like making fun of him. That fan.
Listen, bro, Bilal should smack the shit out of that guy.
What are you guys talking about?
Bro, he should smack the shit out of that guy. We're not gonna disrespect Bilal and talk about how some dude is disrespecting Bilal, bro. We're not gonna do that. That motherfucker should get his ass smacked. I don't care. Fuck that guy. Bilal should smack him right in the fucking face. Anyway,
Dev.
we got to backtrack now because I skipped two fights that I gave them as much air as they should get. But we'll go ahead and go back. Andrew, what you got next?
We will head over to the welterweight division. I actually think this is a fairly interesting matchup. We have Jeremiah Wells against Carlston Harris. Jeremiah Wells is 12-2-1. He's undefeated at 4-0 in the UFC. Carlston Harris is 18-5. He is 3-1 in the UFC. Both have pretty short average fight times in the 6-minute range. Carlston Harris will be bigger at 6 foot to 5'9" of Wells. 2-inch reach for Carlston Harris, 76-74. Harris fights orthodox. Jeremiah Wells will switch it up on you. Excuse me. If we go to the stats, Harris puts a little bit more output, given he's on the feet a little bit more. He lands 4.1 a minute and takes back 2.8. Wells lands 2.9 a minute and takes back 1.4. If we go to the grappling, Wells is a takedown machine. He averages 3.9 takedowns per 15 minutes. Harris takes down 3.04. Takedown defense for Wells is 100%, 75% for Harris. One thing that's telling for me is the takedown accuracy, both pretty low, 38% for Wells and 31% for Harris. If we go to the lines, Wells is minus 130, Harris is plus 110. The over 2.5 is plus 150. The under 2.5 is minus 180. And if you were looking at the split decision prop, the yes is plus 500, no is minus 800. I think this is an intriguing matchup, man. Jeremiah Wells, like I said, is a takedown machine. However, he doesn't have the highest accuracy because he isn't very technical with his takedowns. He just kind of relies on his strength. He just double legs and then picks you up. He just uses man strength. Like, not a lot of technique to it. Harris has pretty good takedown defense, so I want to see what that looks like. I think it will eventually go to the ground. I am curious to see if Harris can snatch a sub or if Wells is just going to beat him on top. In terms of the striking, I think Harris has the advantage. I am curious to see if he can kind of overcome Wells' pressure because that's how he sets up his takedowns. He's going to kind of bully and go forward. Typical wrestler striking, just wide, powerful hooks. He can definitely knock you out. But he definitely pushes forward that way so he can initiate his takedowns against the cage. I do think Wells is the side. I think the line kind of is right. I think the line is accurate, but I don't have the most confidence in him just because I think Harris is crafty enough to beat him. I don't think Wells is all that. I know a lot of people are very high on Wells, and I just kind of think he's okay. It's enough for me to lay off this fight. I don't have any bets. I would lean Wells as the side, but I am definitely going to stay off of this one. Do you have anything, Joe?
Yeah, play the under 2.5, bro. It's a nice parlay piece for this fight. The fact that they hit it at fucking negative money fucking broke my heart. You know, sometimes you're like, look at that. Wonder what the books are gonna do. And then they're like minus 180. You're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I think the under is a very nice piece on this one. I wouldn't take a side. Everything you just said about Wells is very true. Carlston Harris is. I think you used the word crafty. I hope you used the word crafty because that is a great word to describe that guy. I think that round one is live for both men. I think round two is live for both men. I think Carlston Harris grows liver into the second round. Like if it was a pendulum, Wells is the side at the beginning of the first, and by the end of the second, Harris is the side. So, but I don't. Even if it goes to a third, I think one guy is probably fucking gassed or already defeated and gets beat early in the third. I really, really think this fight goes under 2.5. The under 1.5, if you're playing a risky parlay of alts, I would look at the under 1.5 here too. But I would know that it is a little risky. It's much riskier, but both guys can do it in the first. I'm telling you, both guys can do it in the first, in my opinion. Anybody else on this fight?
I mean, I'm big on Wells. I took him kind of early. Uh, I've also got him on a parlay. I could see how it can become more of a technical fight just because they're at this kind of point, they're both kind of veterans and it's not their first rodeo. So I think they might be a little more cautious and doing the same thing, style of fighting that Jeremiah, has done in each of his fights. He's definitely been the aggressor, and he's also got a hell of a chin and a lot of heart. I mean, he's a strong guy. Carlston, when I watched a lot of his fights, his recent stuff is kind of tough because obviously he got to take on, the future with Shavkat, where he got knocked out. Not I thought for a second that he might have walked into the punch, but he really didn't. He just got it solid and was dropped. And then he fought Jared Gooden, who is kind of just a nobody fill in space for him. So he hasn't really fought too much competition recently or in his last fight. So like that part kind of, and he got knocked out in his first round against Shavkat. So I think that kind of put a big part into me that Jeremiah Wells has been very active and he's definitely hungry. And so I feel that he can completely take him out.
Well, if you're betting that as a money line, I I hope that he gets it done in under 2.5.
I do as well.
In Fugo. Did I get it right?
Fuego. In Fuego.
God damn it. In Fuego. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm on the other side with Harris. Implied odds right around 56.5%. I have this fight 51.49%. And with those odds with Harris, I'm going to go with the dog. Simple as that.
Yeah, can't argue, man. I think it.
Well, it's an odds bet. That's not a bet based on fighting or anything.
Well, that's what we
I
play
mean,
as
it's fine.
numbers, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's one way, but you can still talk about a fight and obviously more than one.
I'll be honest. I run the numbers on fights before I decide whether or not I'm going to take them. That's the honest to God truth for me
Oh,
nowadays.
that's definitely a good style, without a doubt. Not
Sometimes you can just look at the
saying
numbers
it's
and
bad.
say, nah, I can save myself the tape. I'm taking the under. And most of the time, the under, I'd say, I mean, fucking Vinny knows I hit him the majority of the time, bro. And I'll be honest, my over unders the majority of the time, I find those before I tape it. I tape it, and when I'm looking for more, when I'm like, I want to look at this fight, this will be a good one. But like, I can dig in to a fight for about 10, 15 minutes looking at numbers and really breaking down the stats. And you can really see a lot of the overs there, man, without having to do tape. I mean, I know you can watch a fight in 15 minutes, but you can't efficiently tape a guy in 15 minutes. So, um, yeah, I just feel like certain type of bets, it is numbers. And if you just play the numbers, numbers don't fucking lie. You know what I mean? If guys average 6 minute fight times on both sides, like you got real good probability that fight's going under 1.5, and you can doubt it and say, oh, it cancels each other out. But no, most of the time they're gonna stay true to that. So like, I don't know. I bet a lot of that shit too. So I agree with it. Andrew, did you introduce that one or did I? Oh, you did.
You are next, sir.
Damn. All right, here we go. This is Kyler Phillips, Ronnie Barcelos, right? At 135. Kyler Phillips 10-2, Ronnie Barcelos 17-4. Kyler Phillips 10-minute average fight time, Ronnie Barcelos 12-minute average fight time. Phillips is 5'8", 72 inches of reach, orthodox. Barcelos 5'7", 67 inches of reach. Orthodox. That dude's got to have the shortest arms in the UFC. What the fuck? Both guys land at about 5.5 per minute. Phillips absorbs at 3.5, where Barcelos is absorbing at 5 per minute. Phillips has a 3.3 average takedowns per 15 minutes. Ronnie has 1.6. Ronnie has amongst all the grappling stats, Ronnie has the one that stands out the most at 93% takedown defense. That's fucking high, man. That is standout high. Phillips is 69, which is a notable takedown defense. Ronnie's got 41% takedown accuracy and 50% takedown accuracy for Phillips. I think the over 1.5 here is a good play. I think the over 2.5 is the fight where I was talking about playing the under 1.5, the Wells fight. If you're going to play the under 1.5, you may as well parlay it with the over 2.5 here. That's the best way I can say it. I got no money line spot on this fight. Ronnie scares me as a parlay buster. Kyler has edges everywhere, right? As a fighter, he has edges everywhere. But everything he can do, Ronnie can do too. Maybe not quite as well, but there's really nothing he can do that Ronnie can't do. So, yeah, I think if Ronnie can establish the control or the takedown, and if Ronnie can land the takedowns and establish the control time, um, I think he can win the minutes here. So I don't trust Kyler to do his job here, and I think Ronnie is a legit dog. So despite the fact that I think he's very live to winning on minutes, definitely on the over 1.5 though, and really looking at the over 2.5. Andrew, you got anything?
Just a little bit in terms of bets. I don't trust either side. Like you said, I'm in agreement with you. Phillips, has looked good in his career. He puts on a spectacular performance against Song Yadong, but then he goes out and drops one against Paiva, and then he faces Marcelo Rojo, who's no longer in the UFC. I just don't understand why he took such a dip in competition. He's got a fat price tag on him. He's over 200 right now. I don't trust that at all. Barcelos is capable of being finished, so I don't trust him as well. I like the over 2.5. As of today, it was minus 165 on my book, which is Bet Online, as you can also see on capmma.com. That's what I like in this fight. I think there is a chance of a possible split, but I'm not going to get too cute with this one. I'm just going to lean on the over 2.5 as a nice, beautiful parlay piece, and we'll go and roll with that one. Let's go with Trace. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I actually tweeted out about this fight earlier. I think this fight's going to be a dogfight on the feet. I think it's going to play out pretty closely on the feet. I do think Kyler Phillips has the edge in power, but I do think Barcelos also has the advantages on the ground. I look for the fight to stay standing, so I do think if there's a finish, it's going to be on the Kyler side. But and I also kind of lean him in decision as well. But at that dog price, like I said on a tweet earlier, at plus 180 or almost plus 190, what he is now in a fight that's going to be this close, I would rather have the dog ticket than the favorite ticket in that fight. Just me personally.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to look at it. Nice to see you on the mic and have you in here tonight, Trace. Vinny put his hand up immediately on this one. Vinny, what you got, bro?
Yeah, I wanted to say I think Ronnie Barcelos is washed, man. I mean, he might be he was a good fighter, but I mean, he's 36 years old, and he looked like he retired and gave up his career on his last fight. I don't know why we overthinking it. I'm on the Kyler Phillips side. I don't think he'll. I don't think Ronnie Barcelos is going to be able to handle him. That's just the way I look at it, and I don't even know why he's still in the UFC. I mean, I guess they still got to have the other people, right, or the ones that take all the beatings.
Damn, Vinny, tell us how you really feel, for fuck's sake. Uh, Seven Fingers Champagne, or Campaign. Just grab the mic. What you got, bro?
Hey, I was looking at that Kyler Phillips shit.
This motherfucker.
Wait,
Why?
You
wait,
know, D baby
oh,
got 13 accounts, bro.
Why he got 13 accounts, bro? He D
D
baby
baby
billionaire,
champagne,
Bro, only got
cash extraordinaire.
bro.
This motherfucker.
Bro, you
All
just
right.
blew his cover,
I
man.
only got two accounts. Y'all knew I had a burner account. I let it be known in
Yo,
my.
I ain't gonna lie. I was listening to the Flowetry earlier, man. That song still bangs. It still bangs, bro.
Oh, that's love. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. Nah, man. Y'all niggas crazy, man. Y'all niggas know I had a burner account. I only got two accounts. I was like the first one with the burner account in this group. Unless y'all, I let it be known. Unless y'all got some hidden shit, man. But at least I let my burner
I have
account.
no burners, bro. I have no
Nah,
burners. Who you
K
got,
got
sis?
about six though, for real.
Who got six?
Hey,
Oh yeah, Gabe a weirdo. He definitely got six. At least I let my shit be known. Like, hey, this is my burner account. I even put it in my bio, burner account. And this one, it says my main account is on my bio. Like, man, come on now. I only got two accounts. Anyways, what I was gonna say? Fuck.
Kyler Phillips.
Yeah, Kyler Field. So I heard some whispers. So he's off the substance he was taking. So some people think that's gonna be he might not be as good. You know what I'm saying? Since he was on some banned substance, maybe since he's off it, maybe he's not gonna be the same. I don't know. What y'all think?
They were saying that the only reason he got the fight was because it was in Nashville because he couldn't fight in Nevada.
yeah, he's still suspended in Vegas, but he can fight in Nashville because he's under a
Yeah.
different
Oh,
fight
shit.
district or whatever.
So
Bro, I'm betting Ronnie Barcelos.
so what you saying? Like it shouldn't be no a factor in his performance. Pretty much, it's just
I mean,
Yeah, hell
if
yeah.
he's still saying if he's still suspended, I mean, he popped for a good bit of it, so that means that if he's only able to get sanctioned in Tennessee or Nashville itself, he can't fight anywhere else. So it's a pretty substantial pop that he had, though. So
if it's
I would put a
substantial.
little bit more weight to it than some people are. I would say.
I mean, if it's that serious, well, why they don't give a fuck about it in certain other states and shit? Or that's just
It's
how it
just
goes.
it's whoever they're getting sanctioned through. So whoever Tennessee gets sanctioned through, that's who they're going through. So if they're cool with it, man, I guess it's not state to state, but it seems to be certain states that have different laws. That's the problem. They don't have that unified rule set anymore. So you have shit like this
Yeah, but
happen.
wouldn't USADA ban their license to fight if because that would USADA's not just Nevada.
I don't know. They figured out some kind of loophole though. But
Yeah.
like you don't know what that could have been. I mean, he was pretty good for his cardio. That could have been EPO that he popped for. I don't know what he popped for, but that could affect his cardio directly. You don't know.
Yeah, that
So
needs to
uh,
be
so
looked into
so
deeper.
Joe, so why you like Barcelo though? Like, well, you think he got better hands or like what is?
Nah, I wasn't actually on the side till you said Phillips coming off the juice, bro. Coming off the juice
Well,
get your
the
ass
minus two
whipped.
hundred to me, the minus 200 doesn't make much sense because I mean Barcelos is coming off a knockout to Nurmagomedov. I think it's a little bit of recency bias. I get it. Barcelos hasn't looked the way he did before the Victor Henry fight. He kind of has slowed down a little bit. I guess age is starting to catch up with him, but I don't know if I don't. This is a jump up in competition for Kyler Phillips, in my opinion. Go ahead, fix.
Damn, jump up in competition. He just beat Saddam. Saddam was Barcelo, in my opinion. But all right, you got a point though. But yeah, go ahead, man. Whoever's next. But I just think Saddam will watch. That's like his biggest competition, to be honest.
The substance Kyler popped for is Ostarine. It's a SARM, so it's like that. I don't know. It's gone by many names in the past, but it's like a pill you can buy. It acts through different channels than anabolic steroids, but similar ways. You add pretty crazy strength.
Is he off of it though?
I mean,
That's the
I would
question.
hope. I would hope he wouldn't be taking it
I
after
mean,
popping.
Yeah, I would hope he's not going to piss hot 2 fights in a row.
Wait,
I
hold on,
mean,
Fix. Hold on, Fix. So you saying the shit he was on give you Captain America strength?
Yeah. I
oh
mean,
my
like
god.
it's pretty common for like high school and college athletes,
B baby,
football
big
players
dick
to get.
energy.
Yeah, give me that shit then, man. So I can beat up Rolly bitch
Yeah,
ass.
where do we get them is the question. We're not really worried about anything
You
else.
could beat
So,
Rolly
baby, I
without
got
it.
to ask you quick. I haven't spoke to you in a while, baby. Did you get to hang out with Floyd Mayweather?
Nah, he was at his so we was at his daughter's mansion because he bought cribs for all his kids. All his kids got mansions, so he was moving around and shit. So I didn't get to meet him. So I'm gonna keep it
Wish
100.
I had those kind of problems, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Florida all over the place in Vegas. And plus that was 4th of July, so you know he gonna be with his hoes, so he gonna be moving around. So we was just at one of his mansions and shit, but it's all love. But yeah, I need some of that so I can beat up Rolly. Let me get what's that pill called?
Yo, you
So
could
I
beat
can
Rolly without it.
Is Oscar?
Hey, bro.
It's called
Just
estrogen,
just
bro.
just cause they dress like that don't mean they hoes, bro. Sometimes that's just how women dress. You ain't gotta call them all that. If we keep calling them
Walks like a
hoes, they gonna
duck,
stop
talk like
dressing
a
like
duck.
that.
It's a duck.
No, they
Listen,
won't stop dressing like that because they're hoes, Joe.
I mean,
And they all
And they live
hoes,
in
man.
different area codes.
Thank you.
anyway,
yeah.
Andrew, what you got next, bro?
Man, we're heading to the light heavyweight division, a super exciting fight. We have Tanner the Hoser Bozer taking on Alexa Kamor. Tanner Bozer is 20, 10, and 1. He's 4-5 in the UFC. Kamor is 6-2. He's 2-2 in the UFC. Both have pretty high average fight times, 10.5 minutes to 12.5 minutes. Pretty similar in size. Bozer 6'2 to 6'1. And then similar reach, 75-inch reach for Bozer to 74 for Kamor. Both of them are orthodox fighters. Both of them like to put out some decent volume, 4.1. For Bozer, he absorbs 2.4 back. Kamor lands 4.7 and takes back 3.1. There is 0 takedown average for Tanner Bozer. You're not going to see him try to take someone down. He does not want to be on the ground. Kamor has before, but it's very low. He averages a half a takedown in 2 fights with 25% accuracy. If we go to the lines, Tanner Bozer, as of today, was minus 155, and Kamor was plus 135. The over 2.5 is minus 140, and the under 2.5 is plus 110. If you go to the split decision prop, yes is plus 300, no is minus 400. This is a fairly interesting fight. just for Bozer, just because he's gone down to the light heavyweight division. I know people have been curious as to what he looks like. Well, he faced Kudalaba, and it's the same damn issue at heavyweight. He can't stop a takedown. Um, I do think this fight will be standing. I don't think Alexa is going to go for takedowns. If he does, he'll have success with it. But he's not the type to do it over and over. So he may try to go for one or two, but he's not just going to sit there and come out with a game plan of I'm going to grapple for 15 minutes. It's just not who he is. It's not in his nature. So I do see this being a stand-up fight. I'm not on either side. Kimura lost to William Knight, and that was a pretty bad loss. So I don't trust anyone who loses to William Knight. And Tanner Bozer is Canadian, so he's a fade. I like the over 2.5 at -140. That's probably going to be my bet for this fight. I don't see a lot of finishing ability. I think Alexa can one shot knock him out. I just don't see it happening. I will be betting against that, so I do like the over on this fight. Is there anything that you have on this one, Joe?
No. Fuck this fight. I'm so sorry. Like, I try to have good takes, and I did type some shit up, but I don't even
Bro,
want to
we don't
tell
bet
it.
all fucking 15 fights, man. Or at least I don't. So I don't blame you, bro.
That's what I'm saying. And like, so like, okay, so like, respectfully, if you just remove the word light from light heavyweight, this is as good as most heavyweight fights. That's what I have to say about it. So, I really sincerely, I don't have any interest in this fight. I don't have any interest in betting this fight. I tried to look at it earlier. Yeah, just whatever. If you need to bet every fight, bet Tanner Bozer by knockout, and cross your fucking fingers and hope that he puts the kid to sleep. Because short of that, there's not a legit edge in my opinion. I did look at it and I got nothing. Yeah, I'm sorry, just nothing. Anybody else on this fight?
I'll go ahead, man. I heard old boy was good though, the underdog.
Hamer was fucking up William Knight until he gassed. I mean, he was. I'm pretty sure he had William Knight in full mount, was beating him up, then got gassed and kind of got his ass whooped from there. He was a hot prospect going into the contender series, but I don't think he's kind of lived up to that ticket since then, or even on the contender series. Yeah, mistake me if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't he the one that trains with Stipe Miocic?
That is true.
Yeah, he was supposed to be Stipe's like the next coming of Stipe, but I'm pretty sure he's a wrestling base with some stand up, but not really good anywhere. So yeah, for me, this fight is kind of like a fade all around, even from a DraftKings standpoint, which I know we're not talking about that, but I there are definitely better spots to have, better spots to bet on this card than this for sure.
Yeah, who the hell knows what's going to happen in this damn fight? Both these guys need to win really bad, so you take a lot of risks and you do a lot of stupid stuff. So
I
I'd stay
think
away
Joe
from it
said it
for
very
that
well. If you
reason.
just remove the word light, it becomes
Yeah.
a heavyweight fight. And that's what it is. It's a low level heavyweight fight. And as we always preach in this space, what do we do with low tier heavyweight fights? We take the over, gents. We take the over.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a solid choice in this fight because as much as I would love to bet Tanner Bozier, you just can't trust that dude with your money.
Next fight.
Wait. Can I say something?
Yeah.
No, no,
Yeah,
next fight.
I just
I'll
want to
just
say
change
that
it.
Tanner Bozer, what is he? Canadian. What do we do here? We fake Canadians. That's my response.
Save your money. Save your money.
Except when we don't. Except when we don't.
Hey, what's wrong with Canadians though?
Those are Canadian cards. That's
Listen,
not
don't
Canadian
fade him in
fight.
Canada though. Don't do that shit. You'll lose
We don't
all
we
No,
your
don't fade
fucking
Mike
money.
you
Malott yet.
can't
Mike
do
Malott's
that
still
shit
living.
in Canada.
Don't fade them in Canada. You're gonna lose everything you got. Them motherfuckers will
Bro,
rob
they
you
got
one
me
time.
last time for sure. I tried to fade them fuckers in Canada. They faded me.
We're in
Yeah,
the
they
group.
whooped your ass. I guarantee it. That shit was a massacre for the home team last time, bro.
That's why he
All of them.
gave it to him because he knows they're gonna lose in fucking the U.S. This shit is in the middle of Nashville, so come on, middle of the country.
Bro,
There ain't no
there's
Canadian.
probably Canadians that listen that don't understand that there's reason to believe that Canadians are fade. And they probably think we're just dicks about it. We're not, guys. If you do the math, most of the time, Canadians are fades. Anyways, am I up next, Andrew?
Yes, sir.
Man, I think, does that bring us to the main card? Oh, that was the main card. Tanner Bozer is the main card. Diego Lopez versus Gavin Tucker at featherweight is next. Uh, both guys coming off a loss. Diego Lopez is 21-6. Gavin Tucker is 13-2. Diego Lopez is 5'11", 72 inches of reach. Gavin Tucker is 5'6", 66 inches of reach. Diego Lopez fights orthodox. Gavin Tucker fights southpaw. Um, I started looking at this fight earlier. Well, here, let me get the stats off. So Lopez only has 2 UFC fights, and they're both losses. The stats aren't going to reflect very well, so I'm not really going to take all the time to recite them. I have looked at this fight, not in depth, but I did probably give it 20, 25 minutes earlier. Diego Lopez lost to Avalov and to Burrito, which them dudes are no slums, like no chumps. It's not like he went out there and got beat up by 2 fucking nobodies. He went to decision with both of them. He got beat up pretty good by Evolov. Brito put it on him in the contender series too, but Evolov put it on him pretty good. But he stayed in there, man. So like, I don't know. That gave me some type of feelings about it. Gavin Tucker, good prospect. I can't remember. I should have wrote it down. I think he's 4-1 in the UFC before Dan Ige knocked him out, which I know makes him 4-2. But Ige knocked him out so fucking fast. It's like sometimes I don't hold that against him as far as like fight style. Got beat in a fight. You got fucking clipped. Didn't have your hand where you're supposed to. Just got fucking clipped. And Ige, I guess, has been known to do that. So without a ton of tape, I literally highlighted Lopez because I was like, and I watched the Brito fight and fast forward. I didn't watch the whole Brito fight. I watched part of the Brito fight and fast forward and watched more of it and fast forward. And then I did the same, to be completely honest, and I did the same exact thing with the Avalov fight. But whatever. I don't know. I just Andrew, what do you got on this fight?
Man, this is an interesting fight. I don't know so much about Tucker being a prospect. That dude's 37 years old, man. But he took a 2-year layoff though because of that knockout to Dan Ige. And then I know when he lost to
Shoulder
Glenn,
surgery.
he took like a year and a half off too after that. So I don't like like I said, I don't like guys coming off of knockouts. He's taken a 2-year break, so I mean that's obviously more than enough time to heal and everything. But I don't know, man. I don't like taking dudes over 35, especially unless there's like a glaring reason why. With Diego Lopez, here's the thing with him, and both of his losses, as Joe mentioned, to Brito and Movsar, he's looked good, especially in that Movsar one. Well, sometimes I find myself guilty of doing this as I get so caught up in how someone looks good in a loss that I just assume they can win if they get like a better matched fight. And that's not always the case. Sometimes they just can't put it together to win. So with that being said, I don't trust either fighter at all. Um, I don't, I kind of like the over just because I, I, I don't know how much finishing ability there is unless Lopez catches him in that sub, because that's what he's going to do. He's going to throw a lot of subs up. Gavin Tacker's going to go for a takedown because that's what he does. Diego Lopez gets taken down because that's what he does. So he could definitely catch him in a sub. But other than that, I don't have anything on this fight in terms of betting. There's nothing that appeals to me with this fight. I would lean Diego Lopez as the side just because he has multiple ways to win. However, at minus 180. I just don't think he's worth that price tag, in my opinion. So I am going to lay off of this one. Looks like Zaw, you have your hand up. Go ahead, man.
Wait. 1 second. I just want to say my bad if my fucking take was shit and I
No,
dumped
your
it
take was
off on
fine,
you.
bro.
Bro, we got a skunk that's been around my neighborhood that like will walk right up on you. And I got my garage door open. And that 2 nights ago when we were watching the fight, that motherfucker tried to walk up on the garage. And when I was talking, we got like these stray black cats in my neighborhood. Like, what the fuck? This woman across the street feeds them. Anyway, one of the cats was walking up, bro, and I thought the skunk was coming up and I was just getting a little nervous. So sorry about that. Anyway, before I jumped it off on you, bet the over here. Gavin Tucker goes over all the time, over 1.5. He goes over all the time. And Diego Lopez went into the third round with Brito and went the distance with Avalov. Bet the over here. Anyway, Zah, go ahead.
Yo, it's that Erie Lake you guys got there in Michigan, man. But you just answered my question. I was gonna say, how about the over on this fight? And I think this guy Lopez, he fights with what's that girl that just lost to Nunes? I forget her name.
To Amanda Nunes?
Yeah, who's the girl that lost to her?
Pena?
No, I
Juliana
really
Pena?
Aldana.
Yeah, I think that's her. She trains with him, with this Lopez dude. Or they're in the same camp.
Yeah, but she lost.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that's cool that they be trading. But what do you think about the over?
They're losers.
Nah,
Trace, go ahead, man.
go ahead, Trace.
So honestly, man, if you're going off of like who's the better minute winner, I would have to give it to oh shit, I'm blanking on his name. Not Lopez, the other guy.
Gavin Tucker.
Gavin
Tucker.
Tucker.
Tucker's the better minute winner here. Like, yeah, Lopez looked good in his fights, but he looked good from the bottom. Like he was doing damage from in losing positions, and that's why he looked good. He was a dog throughout that entire fight. His fighting style is a minute loser. So I mean, like, if this fight goes to a decision, Tucker probably wins the fight. I think if you're going to bet Lopez, you're betting Lopez to win by finish here, which
The sub.
Tucker's chin is questionable. I mean, Ige does have power, but he knocked him out on a jab. So like, yeah, he caught him early on, but like, what does that chin look like? I mean, can he really handle the punching power up here in the big leagues? And while Lopez isn't the most clean striker, he does throw heavy heat when he does throw because he's not scared to go to the ground. So,
I
like I
also heard
said,
that it was a shoulder surgery on Gavin while he's been gone for 2 years.
see, in a younger fighter, I wouldn't be worried so much about surgeries, but like an older fighter like him, like I think Andrew said he's 37,
Yeah.
that gives me some hesitancy. 'Cause, I mean, just look, they're talking about Chess's back last week, and he looked like shit. So I mean,
Mhm.
you gotta start taking into consideration the injuries on these older guys. That's all I got. Go ahead, Cade.
Uh, I. How do you say his name, bro? The guy that he fought last time, Evil Love or Evil? I never can say that
Mobstar
shit.
Evalev.
Yeah, I mean he's considered one of the young savages coming up at 145, and Diego Lopez took that fight on short notice and put him into some sticky situations. And I mean, we kind of already knew that he was going to get taken down by the type of fighter Evil is, but I mean, I don't know, man. I like him over Gavin Tucker right here, bro. I really do. Full camp. I mean, I don't know. Gavin Tucker's never been sub, bro, but there's a first time for
I
everything.
actually I did bet Diego Lopez at minus 130. I'm just saying I do think he finishes him, but I think if you're thinking this fight goes to a decision, I would think Gavin Tucker wins the decision more often than not.
Yeah, I mean, Gavin Tucker's never been subbed. If I don't believe. I mean, I could look it up. I don't really give a shit, but I mean, I think Diego Lopez could sub him.
No,
I
he
mean, off
hasn't.
a full cap
Ricky
camp.
Green unanimous decision, and he got knocked out.
Yeah. I mean, there's a first time for everything. He's old as shit. And honestly, Diego Lopez surprised me in his last fight, especially on short notice. I mean, you could say he lost a lot of minutes, but he fought a guy who was technically supposed to be so much better than him, was a minus 1,000, and he put him into some sticky situations off his back and gave it his all. And it wasn't even a full camp. So, I mean,
Well,
I,
and
I,
there's a
I like
size
him.
disadvantage.
I,
You know,
I, I like
Lopez
him.
is 5'11", where Tucker's
Yeah,
only 5'6".
yeah, I like him here against Tucker, man.
72-inch reach to 66. I mean, this is a big size disadvantage as well. And for a comeback fight on 2 years, I mean, ring rust, whatever you want to say about it, it does kind of make sense that it's hard to put your money on Tucker because you really expect him to come back at 110%.
Will, what you got?
I'm pretty sure Tucker just had some shoulder surgery too, and
That's what I said.
I've seen him get hit with an uppercut, you know, and he's got a good uppercut. So I wouldn't be surprised to see like a club and sub type of deal, but yeah.
Nice. Andrew, what you got next, bro?
Man, I was trying to break up some weed before you really interrupted.
Well,
No
Facts.
respect nowadays. No respect.
We are headed to the light heavyweight division, gentlemen. This is actually a fight I'm looking forward to as a fan. It's going to be fun. Dustin Jacoby is taking on Kennedy Nzechukwu. Dustin Jacoby is a fascinating guy to me. He's had 2 UFC stints. His first one, he went 0-2, but then he's come back and he's gone 6-2-1. Kennedy Nzechukwu is 6-3, and he's on a 3-fight win streak. Jacoby is a little bit shorter, 6'3" to 6'5". The reach advantage is in favor of Kennedy by 7 inches. He has 83 inches of reach and 76 for Jacoby. Jacoby's fighting orthodox. Kennedy fights southpaw. I love when it's opposite. Those are my favorite matchups. If we go to the stats, Dustin Jacoby lands 5.4 strikes per minute, takes back 4. Kennedy lands 4.8 and takes back 4.2. Jacoby, not the biggest grappler, less than half takedown per 15 minutes, 25% accuracy, and 60% takedown defense. Kennedy averages 0.69, 50% accuracy, and 80% takedown defense. If we go to the lines, Dustin Jacoby is a dog. He is plus 124. Kennedy is the favorite at minus 144. Over 2.5, minus 135. Under 2.5, plus 105. If you like the split decision prop, yes is plus 300 and no is minus 400. I'm not betting sides on this one. I know Kennedy is favored heavily on MMA Twitter. He has fought a lot smarter over his last few fights. I think his IQ has improved tremendously. He's starting to incorporate his wrestling a lot more. The stats don't really favor it, but if you've watched his last couple fights, he's relied on his grappling, and he's done a pretty good job of it. But I cannot pick a side on this one. I think it can go either way. Dustin Jacoby is a pretty damn good kickboxer, and he's very good at keeping his distance. Kennedy Nzechukwu doesn't really press forward, and he is, fairly low volume. I don't like that he shells up to take damage, and then he unloads after that. So I think the fight can go either way. I think that's why the fight is pretty closely lined. Again, I know I've said this a lot. What I do favor is the over 2.5. It's a pretty low line. I think if Kennedy does get the grappling going, I don't really think he's going to have the ability to submit Jacoby. I think Jacoby knows enough to survive. And then if it stands up, I don't really see one of them catching the other for a knockout. So I do favor the over 2.5 on this one. That will definitely be a piece for me this week. That is what I have. Joe, go ahead and then pass it off after that.
I literally typed up over 1.5 easy piece. I just feel like it's a given. 2.5 is very playable. I got no disagreements with you. But I think the 1.5 is like a given parlay piece. I guess, it's MMA, anything could happen, but the fight probably goes the distance. Yeah, I don't have anything much more than what you said, other than I pretty much agree with everything you said. And again, for the third time, I think the over 1.5 is just a free parlay piece. Vinny, what you got?
On this one, I'm with Andrew on this. I think what's his name? Nagoji. Oh, I can't.
Ninjuku.
Yeah, the
Kennedy's a little easier. I can go with that.
yeah, there we go. Whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. I think he's very timid, like as far as looking for a fight. I don't think he comes forward a lot, and I like Dustin Jacoby's kickboxing. So I think Jacoby is going to take this fight. I wouldn't it wouldn't surprise me if he knocks him out. I I even though Ngunju has been doing a better wrestling job, like Andrew says, in the last couple of fights, I just think he's gonna get scared and he's gonna fall back like he always does.
Benny. And Zetcha Ku, you put some fucking respect on his name and Goku or whatever the hell you called him.
Nguku,
Hey man,
Nguku,
and Zetcha Ku
I
gonna
can't
win the
say his
motherfucker
name,
by
man.
decision. And Zetcha Ku by decision. Just remember that.
What? Nah, I can't even say it. Just I gotta look at his name in
Just
front of
say
me in order for.
Kennedy, bro. That's his first
Yeah, there
name.
you go,
Is
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
Yeah, that the dead Kennedys. That's what I'm gonna call him.
Did you say the dead Kennedys? Is that what you said you were going to call him? Anyway,
Yeah. Do you know who they
anybody,
are? That's a group.
anybody
That's a
else
rock
on
and
this
roll group.
fight? Kate had his hand up and put it down, I thought, because I'll clock this one out quick otherwise. Um, well,
I
I
mean,
got
all I would say is like Justin Jacoby, like Vinny was saying, is a kickboxer. He does sometimes, he was on a good streak. He barely lost a round tree. This is more than likely. I don't see it really going to the ground. I think it's a standing fight. I mean, that's probably the reason why Joe's going for longer rounds and everything. Later rounds is a possibility of Kennedy getting some knockouts. He's got that reach advantage. He does have some power, but it's a close fight. So I go with Kennedy.
I was just gonna say, put me down for Kennedy.
yeah, for sure. Um, all right. So the next fight on the card is the co-main event of the evening. Right? It's that fight, right? Yes, it is. The co-main event of the evening and my main event of the evening, women's strawweight fight, Jessica Andrade versus Tatiana Suarez.
Put it
Uh,
away, Joe. Put it
at
away.
strawweight, Jessica Andrade 24-11. Tatiana is 10. She got perfect record. She's just 10 and perfect, right? So Jessica Andrade got an average fight time of 9 minutes 20 seconds. Tatiana got an average fight time of 9 minutes 49 seconds. Jessica is 5'1", 62 inches of reach. Tatiana is 5'5", 66 inches of reach. Jessica is fighting orthodox. Tatiana is fighting southpaw. Jessica lands at 6.8 per minute and absorbs at 5.4 per minute. Tatiana lands at 4.3 per minute and absorbs at 1.3 per minute. You ain't putting hands on this woman. Average takedowns per 15 minutes. Jessica 2.6. Tatiana 1.6. Both women have over 5 UFC fights, so they max out on the recent fights in the deal, and it lets you know that the stats are at least stacked. Tatiana has 100% takedown defense. Yeah, I'm huge on Tatiana Suarez. I really like Jessica Andrade. Met her in person a couple of years ago. I've had nothing but wonderful things to say about her. But man, I fucking love me some Tatiana Suarez. This is it. It's this one and then the title shot. Fuck everybody. I don't care. 12-0 is the champ. Yeah, I fucking mean it. This is I play Tatiana. I'll play her everywhere. If I have a parlay, she will be in it somewhere. If I play 3 parlays, she will be in 3 parlays. If I play 4 parlays, she will be in 4 parlays. I always say don't let one fighter cook your night. but she won't cook my night. She is currently has a global average of minus 385. Andrade plus 285. You can see Tatiana as deep as minus 450 right now, and you can see Jessica as shallow as, man, where is it? Oh, plus 310. Um, yeah, that's all I can say is I have horrible bias and I don't give a shit. I don't bet my bias, but things I am looking to bet on my bias are Tatiana money line, fight goes the distance. No, Tatiana finish only under 2.5, and I want to take the under 2.5 in the Tatiana and see if I can get good odds for same game parlaying it or however that stupid shit works too. Andrew, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, man. I agree with pretty
There's a
much
couple
everything
others
you
with their
said,
hands up
man. You
too.
you nailed it on the head. One thing I've noticed, and like you said, I think Jessica Andrade is probably one of my favorite fighters in MMA. She's great. But what I've noticed, man, is she's looked a little bit slower her last couple fights. She's not very old. You know what I mean? She's only 31. She's turning 32, but she's got 35 professional fights. So I just think her fight years are catching up to her. She's slowing down. In my opinion, I feel like she's collecting paychecks at this point. Tatiana Suarez, um, she's undefeated, man. She looked good in her last fight, and it was up a weight class. So she had a good matchup to get that rust off. I expect her to be a little bit slower than what she was before, given all the travesties her knee has caused her. But she's back, and I think even if she's 50% of what she used to be, she's still a champion in my eyes. I think she just has that much talent. Jessica Andrade, I think, is just going to get drowned with the takedown attempts, and she's going to get taken down, and she's going to get mauled. So I have Suarez money line. I have her parlayed with Corey Sandhagen. That's my biggest bet of the week, is that two-teamer right there. I don't think either one has a chance of fucking losing. But I'm not getting cute with the over-unders. The under 2.5 is minus 205 right now. That's, first of all, I don't bet unders. It's just who I am, and I'm definitely not doing it at 2-1 odds. So I'm just going to stick with the money line, and I'll keep it with that. Trace, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, and then I'm gonna get off here. I do think Tatiana Suarez wins, but I already put one unit on Andrade by knockout, just to hedge, just to be safe, because we all know Andrade can go 3 hard rounds, and we all know that she carries that power all throughout the fight. And if Suarez struggles to get her down and burns herself out trying to get her down, and then is just arms full of blood in the third round or second round, she could get knocked out. So I do have a lot of parlays going through Suarez, but I did kind of hedge in that sort of way for me. I got the line at like plus 575, and I'll probably also sprinkle round 2 knockout and round 3 knockout just to cover my ass.
Man, I don't know. I'm not as worried as my friend Trace over there. I'll tell you that. When this shit is over, they're gonna be calling her Tatiana Goldberg and shit. Wow, take her to the ground. Cade, what you got, bud?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Tatiana by finish. I wanted to take her by sub, but going back, I think I forget who it. I think a couple fighters have done it to Andrade, and I'm trying to think, man, and refresh my memory. But she's been known to get put in the crucifix a couple times, right? Like she's gotten crucifixed a few times. Am I correct?
I can't recall anybody putting her in the crucifix. But I could be wrong.
I
Blanchfield
know
beat
Aaron did recently.
yeah, Aaron, but I
Yeah,
don't
Maybe
remember.
Shevchenko.
Valentina. Valentina did it. Shashenko, April 2021.
Okay, so yeah, it's happened. So
Elbows
you
from
not
Yeah,
think
and
crucifix.
you can do that?
I feel like Tatiana Suarez is so damn good in her grappling abilities that I didn't want to just take the sub because if she crucifixed her, what if she just TKO'd her? So I'm just gonna take her to finish the fight, man.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
that's a
take
very
that.
good catch, Cade. That's a badass catch, man. I didn't even think about that.
I'm not gonna take that minus 400 bullshit, that minus 350 bullshit. I think Tatiana finishes this fight. If Blanchfield could do it, I think Tatiana could do it. And and yeah, I just think Tatiana will get the finish here, man. You get a better line on that shit.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. 100% agree with that shit. Vinny, go ahead.
Yeah, this one I got Tatiana as well. I just think the size and the power is too much for her. I think she either subs her or knocks her out, and it'll be an easy fight. Like you said, don't overthink it. I don't think what's his name Jessica Andrade. I like Andrew said, she's slowing down. She used to be a good fighter, but she's lost it. And it's probably the toll on her body. I think Suarez is gonna make her look bad.
Yo, this is a landslide. This is crazy right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Jessica Andrade is someone I'm usually high on, but I don't see. I think Tatiana just, bro. Yeah, I think Tatiana just mauls her. I also think Tatiana should be the 115-pound champion right now. I think she can beat anybody in the division. I think she does it with little to no fucking problem. Um, yeah,
Didn't she beat Grasso as well, Tatiana?
yeah.
I think she beat Grasso. She's a good fighter, man. I agree. I
Tatiana's a
don't
fucking beast.
I don't know
Anyway,
why
I'm too
I don't know
high
why
on
we
her.
don't see more of her. That's what I was.
Yeah, I'm too
Yo,
high
yo,
on her.
Joe, you like Andrade a lot, so like for you to be saying she's gonna lose means like something.
Yeah, bro, she's gonna get mauled. Tatiana is the fucking. She is the truth, son. Andrew, what you got next?
Main event time, gentlemen. We have Corey Sandhagen taking on Rob Font in a 5-round main event fight. Sandhagen is 16-4, 9-3 in the UFC. Font is 20-6, 10-5 in the UFC. Both have pretty average high fight times, 12 and a half minutes to 12 minutes. Corey's going to be bigger, 5'11 to 5'8 of Rob. However, Rob has 1 inch of reach advantage. Corey's a switch stance fighter. Rob Font fights orthodox. If we go to the stats, both guys are very high volume guys. Corey throws out 5.9 strikes per minute, and Rob Font puts out 6.4. Corey takes back 3.9, and Rob takes back 4.03. Grappling, it goes both ways. 0.89 for Corey Sandhagen and 1.01 for Rob Font. Both with takedown defense, 64% for Corey, 55% for Rob. If we go to the lines as of today, Corey Sandhagen is a minus 325 favorite. Rob Font is plus 275. The over-under is essentially a pick 'em. Over 4.5 is minus 125. Under 4.5 is minus 105. If you like the split decision prop, yes is plus 300. No is minus 400. Yeah, I've already said this before. I'm taking Sandhagen money line, parlaying that with Tatiana. That's easy money, man. There's nothing to overthink with this. Rob Font is very chinny as of late. He's getting a little bit older. He's been taking a hell of a lot of damage. I understand he has a very nice jab, but he takes a lot of damage and he wears it terribly. It does not look good for judges. Corey Sandhagen he moves better than him. He's a better overall athlete than him. He has more tools than him. I think he's better on the ground. I think he's better on the feet. When he incorporates those elbows, I think he's just going to catch Font. He's going to cut him open. It's not going to be very good. I'm taking Sandhagen money line. I don't care where the fight goes. In terms of the over/under, I can't bet it. It's a pick 'em, and so I wouldn't feel good about odds either way. So I'm just going to stick with the money line, keep it simple. Joe, what you got, man?
So I really, really, really want Rob Font to win. But I'm not betting his ass to win. I'll tell you that. And I am not betting Corey Sandhagen because I don't bet on Corey Sandhagen. So fuck that. I'm a hater. I don't care. Yeah, Corey's the definite side. For every reason you said. I'm a Rob fan. I like Rob. It would mean a lot for his career if he could grab the W. So as a fan of Rob, I'd like to see him get the W, but man, he's got a steep hill to climb. He's got good striking. He's got good in and out striking. Rob does. Um, I don't know how effective it'll be against Corey, someone who can jump with the flying knees if you step in wrong and leave your chin open, which is what I worry that Rob will do. Like I see a lot of ways where Corey can connect, find places to connect when Rob does what he does. But I hope Rob keeps it tight and fucking and gets the W. I'm not confident enough to bet it. I will say that. Cade, go ahead.
You boys know I love them dudes from Colorado. I got to go with Corey Sandhagen, bro. I've said this for like 2 or 3 years, except for the fight against Dillashaw. Because I also like Dillashaw for some reason just throughout his career, but
Kick
I've
him
always
out. Kick him out. Kick him out.
I've always felt Corey's got the best overall striking in that division. I've always felt that way. People disagree with me. Some people agree. I don't care. I've always felt that way, and I I keep seeing people say Corey's gonna knock Rob out. Um, it's hard to say. I don't want to bet. I don't want to bet. Like I honestly, if I bet Corey, it would be the money line. I don't like laying down minus $300 bets usually. I just don't. But I think Corey's free money. But I wouldn't bet Corey to knock out Rob Font. People forget Rob Font's never been knocked out in his entire career,
Yeah,
and I
bro.
don't give a fuck.
26 fights. He ain't been
And I
knocked.
don't. You can say he's chinny or whatever the fuck you want to say, man. But he's never been fucking knocked out. So I mean, you can't just say that somebody's going to come in here and knock him out when he's never been knocked out in like 26 professional bouts. I
I
mean,
mean, the
hey,
only positive thing.
if there's somebody that's going to do it, it would probably be Corey Sandhagen, but it's just not something I want to bet on when it's never happened before.
I mean, the only thing I would say is at least Rob Font's coming off of a victory where he looked very good, so that gives him at least a better chance of at least having a solid chance of taking this to the scorecards and winning. Because I don't think he knocks out Corey either. So obviously we're going to some later rounds,
Oh,
and that type.
he's not knocking out Corey, but
Exactly.
I'm
That's
not
just
so
put it that
sold that
way.
Corey knocks him out either. If somebody does knock somebody else, it'll be Corey knocking his ass out before he gets knocked out, in my opinion. But um,
I
I
mean,
mean,
if he's piecing him up pretty good, then I can see him finishing Rob. I don't think he knocks him out cold or anything like we get, last weekend. But I think he definitely has chances of finishing him. He's not just only going to beat him in a decision. If he gets, clobbered as much as he did, Corey with them long ass legs, we could see
yeah,
another
and I mean,
knockout like that.
and Joe, I don't know. I don't know. Like I've never heard you talk bad about Corey, so I don't know. I don't know why you don't like him, but I mean, I just feel like Corey's ready to get next for that belt, and I think after Sean and Sterling, he will be next.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said anything nice about Corey.
Can I ask you why, real fast?
He knocked out
Uh,
Frankie Edgar.
I don't like Dominic Cruz either. That's the best way I can explain it.
Do you think they're kind of the same? Like, are you saying they're arrogant?
Yeah, like we are not kicking it. Like if I meet them two, I am not being like, "Yo, let me buy you lunch and hang out." Not at all.
Wait, you wouldn't kick it with Corey?
I feel like
Fuck no.
Corey's such a nice guy.
Yeah, dude. What?
Nope.
With Dominic, I get it. I mean, I actually like Dominic, but I understand if someone doesn't like him. But Corey, like, what's not to like about him?
I mean, Dominic Cruz, you can say whatever you wanted about him early in his career. He was a little fucking cocksucker, but as he grew up, I mean, he probably gave one of the best post-fight speeches to the media after the fight in the back that I've ever heard. I mean, I don't know. I
What?
feel like he matured a lot.
What? Where he told the media how they should do their job? That speech?
When he lost, he's talking about.
I don't like Dominic Cruz. I don't like Corey Sandhagen. I don't know how else to explain it, bro. They're the same people to me.
And I don't like burnt pizza, so let's talk fights.
Yeah, so that's the end of the card. Anybody else want to get in on that fight?
Hold on, Andrew. Andrew,
Yo,
this guy likes Bilal Muhammad, but doesn't like Corey Sandhagen,
dude,
bro.
I've tried, man. I don't get it either, man. I've tried. It baffles me, bro. It fucking
All right,
baffles
Joe,
me.
you can end the card, bro.
Listen, bro, you ever been to Dearborn?
Oh, here we go, bro.
You don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. I
What
live
is
pretty
that?
close.
For someone that doesn't know, what is it?
Yeah,
uh,
it's India of Michigan.
It's the largest Arab community on the planet outside of the Middle East.
Yep.
In Michigan?
Yeah, it's next to Detroit. The largest
Hmm.
mosque in America and shit.
No
Culture's
way.
way different.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
so
crazy. And they don't come out of Dearborn either. They all stay in Dearborn. They don't go anywhere. You don't even know you're close to it. But if you, as soon as you drive in, it's like you're going into a whole different country.
yeah, it is. It's kind of cool when you go down there a lot. I go down there all the time. Anyway, Andrew, I got about 20 minutes before I gotta shut this down. Did you do any upcoming fight announcements this week?
yeah, there's a fairly decent amount. Um,
Let's hear what you got.
Jamie, we'll run through a couple of them quickly because a lot of them are prelim fights. Jamie Malarkey is going to take on John Makdessi at UFC 293, September 9th.
I
Daniel
like
Zohu.
Jamie Malarkey.
What was that?
I like Jamie Malarkey. I like watching him fight.
Yeah, I feel like Makdessi hasn't fought in a while.
I don't know. I
And
can't think of
Malarkey,
a
he
recent
got
fight.
like upset pretty bad, right? He was like a 300 favorite and got his ass kicked. And he might
Yeah,
even
that
been a
was recent.
500. He might have been 500. It was high. He was like the highest on the card and lost.
Yeah, that was within the last few months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was his last fight.
that was him.
Daniel Zellhuber is taking on Christos Giagos at the UFC event on September 16th, the Mexican Independence Day in Vegas. Sungwoo Choi is taking on Jarno Aarons at UFC Singapore, August 26th. Toshiomi Kazama is taking on Garrett Armfield at UFC Singapore, August 26th as well. Taylor Lapilis is taking on Muin Gafarov at UFC Paris, September 2nd. Sadiq Youssef takes on Edson Barboza, UFC Vegas 81 on October 14th. I'm pumped for that fight. Mr. Unprofessional Breakdown versus Master of Kicks Barboza. That's a great fight, man.
Yeah, that is a good fight.
Next is probably going to be the most exciting one on this list. We have a main event for UFC Vegas 79 on September 23rd. It's going to be Rafael Fiziev taking on Mateusz Gamrot. I'm upset that Gamrot is in a main event. because his style is awful and it puts me to sleep.
Fiziev is gonna kill that man.
I hope so. Next, we have Bryce Mitchell taking on Dan Ige at UFC Vegas 79, September 23rd, same card. That'll be
What
your
the
co-main.
fuck?
Yeah, that's your co-main right there.
Where the fuck did that fight come from?
It was announced a couple days ago.
Like, why? For what?
Oh, because Bryce got handled when he actually fought a guy with takedown defense. So he's like, nah, I don't want to do that anymore. So he's like, yeah, give me those guys with bad takedown defense. So they gave him Dan Ige.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
He's still gonna lose though. Higa's gonna knock him fuck out.
I hope so, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I
I
hope
think he's
so.
just gonna. Dude, his stand up to me, if his stand up doesn't get any better, or I don't care who, he ain't gonna beat anybody because his takedown aren't as strong as like one of those Russian guys' takedowns. Like they're kind of sloppy, and he just kind of bear hugs onto you and tries to pull you to the ground. He doesn't really shoot and like take people down with like power. So sometimes he's got to stand, and that's when he does that wild ass, weird looking swings that have no goddamn technique at all, and he just starts getting pounded on. And the more in talent that he starts to fight, I just see him just getting fucking demolished. I think his ground game's good, but his stand up needs to completely get unbelievably better before he can contend with people in the top 10.
He wanted to fight Taporia, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, Andrew, what else you got?
We have Giga Chikadze coming out of hiding, and he's going to fight Bruce Leroy, Alex Caceres at UFC Singapore, August 26th. That should be a fun fight.
That is a fun fight.
Yeah. D-Rod meaning Daniel Rodriguez, is taking on Santiago Ponzinibbio at the Mexican Independence event on September 16th in Vegas.
That's a banger of a fight.
Yep, I agree.
Both guys are
Vitor,
likely to leave in a cab before the fucking post-fight press conference, though.
oh, it's going to be a fucking banger, dude, for sure. Vitor Petrino is taking on Modestas Bukauskas at a UFC event taking place on November 4th. Drew Dober is taking on Ricky Glenn at UFC Vegas 80 on October 7th. I don't get it. Like,
Drew
why would they
Dober
do
by
that to
murder.
Ricky Glenn? I don't get it.
Drew Dober by murder.
By murder. First degree.
Why did they even make that fight? Aren't they trying to push a guy like Dober up the ladder a little?
Yeah, he's gonna kill that guy, and then
Yeah, dude, he's going to have a vicious knockout.
Yeah, over some poor guy.
I don't. That was great.
Yeah, over some poor guy.
All right, we have two more. Magomed Ankalaev is taking on Johnny Walker at UFC 294, October 21st.
That's a sneaky good fight.
I don't think it is going to be, bro.
I've been impressed with Johnny Walker these last few fights, man. I think he's gotten better.
Oh, I agree. I think he has gotten better, but
Yeah, how's he gonna make
Ankalaev is going to fucking
Ankalaev
hug him the whole
exciting,
time.
though, bro? How is
Hawk
he gonna
alive.
make Ankalaev exciting?
Dude, Ankalaev is going to hold him the whole fight.
We
He's
know
gonna
fight.
get caught if he tries to just go with that style fighting him and only coming out and laying praying style. He's gonna get popped with something.
We know
Johnny
fights,
Walker's
brother.
too fast to fight him like that.
Let's hug, brother. We know fights. Let's hug, brother.
All right. Last fight, we have Jonathan Martinez taking on Adrian Yanez at UFC Vegas 81, October 14th.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a fun
Yeah.
one. That's a super fun fight.
I fucking like Adrian. He's cool peoples, man.
I think, dude, I'm wondering how big of a problem those Jonathan Martinez calf kicks are going to be for Yanez. That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Giannis got hands, bro. That's all I know. That's all I can say. He's gonna piece him up. I don't care about
See.
it.
He likes to get pieced up while he does piece other people up. Keep that in mind.
Listen, bro, Giannis follows me, so fuck you. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. He follows me, so on my personal account. So kiss my ass. He's winning.
He liked one of my tweets one time too.
Fuck off.
Or one of my exes. My bad.
One of my exes. You're a dumbass, bro.
I don't know what this fucking site's called anymore.
I do want to know what the fuck
All
are
I
we
can hear is
supposed to call it?
DMX. All I can hear is like DMX go give it to you. I feel like that could be the only commercial background music they could have for this goddamn logo.
I can't say that I get it. All right, that's a whole nother topic. So I got a couple fight not announcements, but man, Bobby Green wants to fight Jim Miller at UFC 300. That would be a fucking banger. They should book that fight right now.
Do it.
Let them two old motherfuckers get in shape from now to UFC 200 or 300. It would be better off that way.
Who wins? Who wins?
Fuck, man. I don't want to talk bad about Bobby Green,
That's
bro.
tough, man. It's a good guy versus good guy, and that sucks.
It's Jim Miller can knock a motherfucker out, and I'm not sure Bobby Green can. Cade, what you
And he
got?
can fight a technical fight too.
About this before you have to go. The UFC says, Connor, you get in December, you get to fight Michael Chandler, or you get to fight Justin Gaethje. What would you do?
Bro, why are you always bringing this dude's name up, man?
No, I want to ask about it because it's not about just his name. Today, he finally responded to Connor and said, sign the fucking contract.
So I really, 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 really think whoever wants to fight Connor is waiting for UFC 300. They're waiting. He's not missing UFC 300, and he knows he's not fighting twice. I just don't.
If you were Justin, would you fight for the title or would you take the bag and go fight Connor at UFC 300? Because that lines up perfect for him, considering that he fought twice this year in a span of 3 months.
Take the bag, bro.
Yep.
I mean, it depends. If you're asking, because if you ask me, I think he takes the money fight because realistically, he's not beating Islam, so he doesn't have a good shot at the title. That's just me. But from his perspective, if he truly believes that he can win and he really wants the title, I think he would wait out and take the title. So
I
it really depends on what he wants.
I think a win over Islam does not necessarily get you the Connor fight, but a win over Connor gets you the Islam fight. So
Yeah, I would. If I was Connor, though, I'd rather fight Chandler.
I mean, I
yeah,
think Justin has the title fight regardless. All he has to do is wait.
I agree with that. I
So that's
agree
what
with
I'm saying.
that.
It's like he's got to decide, okay, well, do I want the title shot because I believe that I can win? Or do I just want to take this huge fucking bag and go fight Connor? And
Uh,
that's a tough decision.
Sean Strickland versus Izzy is a no go. Sean Strickland versus Kevin Lee is a no go. Um, Jorge Masvidal and Ben Askren want to fight each other, but now Jorge only wants to box him, and Ben's like, "What the fuck? No." Um, Cowboy wants to probably stay on steroids and fight Andrew Tate at Zuckerberg must, so that means he never wants to fight him. Andrew, Dan Hardy says he may return for the Francis Ngannou card. There's a former UFC champ that wants to fight him, but he wants to see the contract first. But he is
Ooh.
ready.
I just love watching 40-year-olds fight. It's like my favorite thing. It's like my
Well, I mean,
favorite
don't you really
pastime.
think that's going to add a lot of sell value to the Francis Ngannou card there? Don't you feel
Yeah,
like Dan Hardy
unfortunately.
would?
Unfortunately, yeah, but it's not something I want to watch.
I mean, they got to try to sell a million pay per views,
I'd
bro.
watch two old people in wheelchairs beat the shit out of each other. I'd watch.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're the reason why fucking Goldberg is still wrestling, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm the reason why Tito and Chuck fought a third time. I
That's
watched.
disgusting, Joe. You shouldn't be proud of that shit.
I
Oh,
didn't
I
say
loved
I was
every minute of
proud.
it because I was right when I said it was going to happen.
I wasn't. I wasn't proud. I wasn't proud to watch geriatric Chuck get beat up,
Hey,
but
I didn't. I also didn't put frickin' Holyfield in there with Vitor. So don't you throw this shit on me because that was a murder scene. They took a 50-year-old man, threw him in a goddamn ring with a steroid machine to die.
they were like, if he dies, he dies. Uh,
Without a doubt, that was a movie. That was a match.
fuck. So it appears that Tyson Nam has been removed from the UFC roster. He was actually coming off of a win, if I recall. Nope, two losses. It appears that Brett Johns is leaving Bellator. He no
I was
longer.
about to say, isn't that a Bellator fighter?
Yep, he's 2-1 in Bellator after leaving the UFC. He's
He's the
30.
dude from Wales, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll tell you now, fucker. Yes, he's
Okay.
from Wales. He's 31. He's 2-1 in Bellator since leaving the UFC. He probably signed a 3-fight deal with Bellator. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets another run in the UFC. He fights at 135. Jose Augusto no longer on the Bellator roster. Um, yeah, he went 2-2 in Bellator. He's never been in the UFC. I don't think that he's going to go very far from this. Like, I shouldn't say that. I don't think he's going to go into stay in one of the big promotions right now. That's what I should say. Cade, go ahead.
So as of now, speaking of Bellator, real quick, as of now, um, they're going to get a Bellator 300. It looks like it's going to be in San Diego, California, but there is already. I can't really say too much about it because I will get in trouble by my guy, my boss. But there's already like something in the work. Like Bellator 300, I'm almost positive is the last Bellator card. Let's say it like that. And it should be in San Diego, California.
Yeah,
Where it
so
all started.
I actually think that. So, do you? Okay, so there's a. What do you think the chances are that it becomes Bellator?
No chance at all.
Are you
There,
sure? Because PFL is out of their ESPN deal now.
yeah. There's
Be out
there.
at, well, it is the.
I'm almost. The ESPN deal. It kind of changes my thought process on it. Um, Before I was 80-20 that Bellator would not be a thing anymore. Now I'm about 60-40. Um, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll tell you this though. If they don't remain Bellator, a lot of those veteran fighters they're gonna want out, man. And you're gonna see the UFC get a lot of guys probably.
You're going to see it
That
anyway, Cade, because one of the things that happens when the promotions sell, all of the fighters are out of contract when the merger happens. As soon as they dissolve the Bellator name, all of those fighters are given the opportunity to re-sign with PFL if that's who bought them, but they don't have to. So you're going to see them all leave anyway. That would be a fucking shit move for the PFL because you will see guys leave. You will see big names leave and go over to the UFC.
You know what's funny, bro? Is that like 6 months ago, you and a bunch of other people in here were laughing at me and talking about how Bellator is the second best MMA promotion. Well, it's going poof in a few months. So what's up?
Yeah,
PFL's
but
number 2.
Yeah, bro, but
to be
Let's
that's
go.
honest
because
with
they
you,
raised enough money. They need Bellator to save that shit ass company with no format, and that's
no,
very
and
publicly
hold on,
discussed.
and let's not sit here and act like over the last year and a half, Bellator has done the best job with promoting their brand. Because here's the thing: if PFL buys Bellator, they're doing it to try to one, get rid of competition, and two, they think that if they re-sign all the Bellator guys, that they're going to have enough to compete with the UFC, which isn't going to happen. So either way, I mean, the only way that buying them makes sense is if they're like, okay, less competition for us to have to worry about.
So wait
But
a minute though. So hold on. Listen, and you can go check spaces. I guess I could find you the date if somebody really challenged me. Um, I've been telling you guys for 6 months. I was telling you guys, I think right before Christmas time, Bellator was being prepped for sale. It was clear the way that some of the cards were
And that's a
changing,
fact, Jack.
the way some of the staffing was changing, the way Scott Coker was beginning to answer some questions, and
talked about
then
it one night for like 2 hours.
yeah, bro. So like it's not about the PFL. Bellator's numbers came out like 9 months ago or something. Bro, they don't make money. Bellator does not make money. The biggest year they've had in the past 10 years is like $30 million net profit. They do not make money. The fact that PFL is rumored to be paying $280 million for them is fucking ridiculous. They do not make money. 2 years ago, they turned a profit of $11 million, bro. They do not make money. So,
Well, and I think that it's because of these bad decisions they've made, like the DAZN contract, and then they went to Showtime. So it's almost like they tried to target just boxing and thinking that they were just going to pull everybody. But there's a lot of guys in the boxing, culture that hate MMA
Well,
and they won't watch it at all.
it also has to do with the fact that whoever is running their promoting and their marketing department isn't doing a good enough job because even on big cards, I mean, this Chicago card with Yoel Romero and um, all those guys, Pitbull and Pettis and all those guys. I mean, say whatever the fuck you want about, oh my God, Yoel Romero's old or whatever, but for a Bellator card on paper, that's stacked up for them for
Well,
Bellator.
the
So
Bellator versus Risen
they
cards
didn't
were really
even,
cool,
yeah, and
and
then
they didn't
Bellator
market
and Res.
those.
But see, they don't even promote it that well. I mean, if you go back on Bellator, here's my thing. If you go back to Bellator and go on their Twitter and their Instagram and stuff, they probably posted about it, 5, 6, 7 times. But then, like, if you watch like UFC 292, I bet you could go back all the way 2.5 months ago and find posts of them promoting UFC 292. And then go back 5 months before that, and they're already starting to promote 291. I'm just saying, the promoting levels are different. They don't promote their shit that well or market their shit. And I think the last year and a half, it even got worse due to the fact of what Joe said. They were prepping to sell.
Cade, I don't think they have the budget, or I don't think they're allocating their budget properly on the marketing side to even market it properly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's way more to it than just doing social media posts, right?
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
there's tons
yeah,
more, but even they're
and
not
they
even doing it
just
right on social media though.
no, and I agree with you. That's what makes me believe that their budget for marketing, their marketing department, is terrible. Like that, there's no money there, so that they're not going to come out and say that publicly. But you don't see videos promoting the fights. You don't see anything from them. And furthermore, PFL does a bad job too. When they have those European cards, now I'm on a soapbox, but you can't even watch those European cards if you're in the States unless you use a VPN. I mean, who would
you
make
can't
that kind of
you
who
can't
makes that?
rewatch a Bellator card for a week
Yeah, I mean,
after it's
it's
done.
who's making these decisions? So I think it's a combination of many things, and they're just out of money.
Well, it's not. So no, it's not. Listen, they're meant to stand on their own, but let's be clear. They are owned by Viacom. Viacom has more money than God. Viacom owns at least 50% of the billboards that sell advertisements in America. When you
Yeah,
drive
Joe.
past the billboard, they are massive.
Joe, I
Viacom,
understand. I understand. Listen though, but ESPN is owned by Disney, right? ESPN's going tits up here soon. I mean, they're looking for partners because they're going bankrupt too.
yeah,
Owned by
so
Disney. So
here,
I'm
listen.
just
So let me say what I'm saying to you. So here's the problem you have in Bellator is going to reflect more than ESPN's paying billions to try and hold on to the UFC is that Viacom is and listen, I'm not getting political. I'm just pointing out some facts. Viacom owns some of the most woke brands, the most politically correct brands. Woke isn't the word, but like the most
You go woke and
PC.
go broke. That's a
Listen, the
term.
most PC brands on earth. They own MTV, who bans people from their cast for even making half of a racist statement, or like, and they should. I don't have a problem with their policy, but where I'm going is you have a company that is like super PC driven, and now they're supposed to run a fight promotion because their company bought another company that already owned that fight promotion. Like, it just doesn't fucking work. Like, the UFC is contained to the point that like they're a brand. The ESPN is paying a shit ton of money for them right now, trying to save their brand. But the truth is, UFC could go over to Fox right now, and their ratings would be just as big, probably bigger because Fox gives them whole TV channels and everything, but it's not ESPN. But the truth is, their ratings would not change much if they changed places because they're self-contained. Bellator, their budget comes from the guys up top, and it's just not the type of company that can run a fucking fight promotion. Like, I don't see how that can happen.
I think ESPN Plus app is fucking amazing. So I think that gives it a lot of value too.
Yeah, it is, and like it's
Not there's that.
it, it's I don't know if you've ever used, like, if you ever had to go get the fights. The shittiest part is Bellator gets shown on Showtime, and then you
Yeah,
can't rewatch it. You can't go watch
yeah,
it the next
yeah.
morning. It's not fucking there. You
It's a
want to
pain
go
in the ass.
rewatch it? It's not there. You got to
And
wait a
it's
week.
not on the Bellator app either.
And like, their parent company owns Paramount Plus.
That's
Viacom,
bad business, That's bad business is all this.
they could put them on the front page of fucking Paramount Plus, and they don't. Like, it's just not a company interested in running a fight promotion.
Wow, but that's all of these things. I mean, you can look at any fight company. They don't really promote a lot of stuff. They don't push a lot of things. UFC doesn't really promote any of LFA. They make us kind of look and find for it. Bellator's, trash about doing everything with their marketing techniques. They were known before because they were just putting on fight cards like one after another. So they go like 6 weeks in a row with fight cards. So everybody loved Bellator because of that. But it's a crazy industry, no doubt.
Yeah, and like, sadly, and I'm a diehard, and Andrew will probably be like, I can't believe Joe said that. But I think we've seen the golden era. I think we've seen the heyday, as big as the fight business is going to get. And I think the UFC is going to go for absolute fucking broke trying to sell their
Hey,
brand
can
now.
I ask another question? So,
Absolutely.
outside of Bellator and PFL, which I don't know, I'm not the biggest
One
fan of those
championship.
two. What do you got? What's your opinion on the next best promotion? I'll tell you, I'm a fan of Cage Warriors. I really like the promotion. I like everything about it, but that's just my
Are we
opinion.
skipping one?
What?
Yeah, I was about to say I like one.
No, I'm just throwing it out there for everyone. What do you guys think? One?
Yeah,
One
Yeah,
one
is a
is
one
good
great.
championship's
promotion.
awesome.
Huh.
I also think if Triller picked up one of the smaller MMA promotions and did their actual production, um, they would do like I think Triller does great production. I don't think they should do fight promotion, but I think if one of the guys like not necessarily Cage Warriors, but if Cage Warrior signed with Triller instead, I think that the production level could go through the roof.
Well, and that's kind of what I was saying about how Bellator